So here we are for a very special episode about some very special topics we have to discuss here. And I love her at the top of the podcast. My new co-host, by the way, who's been doing an excellent job. His phone goes off.
Like, I know. We just talked about
Literally.
it. We were both like, let's check our phones. And my ADHD ass couldn't get my phone out of my pocket before another idea swept me away.
Well, we were talking about so many things. Like, we were just bullshitting about. Hey, guys, how's it going, by the way? We were just like, hey, what's this? Catching up on all the coolest things.
And I just got my 6-month review, and I got a good score on it. So now...
You know, the committee's not going to like this at all. They're very quick when it comes to, like, shit like this for some reason.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
But if I need something from them...
Oh, man, it's going to be till maybe Easter.
I got to get motherfucking Moses to, like, chisel some shit into some stone tablets and take it up the mountain, and then I just got to wait, like, 90 days.
Oh, also, you can't forget filling out Form 89AB, you know.
Oh, yeah, and if you mess up any of that paperwork, you got to start all the way over.
Exactly, yeah. Don't touch Form 88D. That's the wrong shit, yeah.
No.
You know how hard it was getting the orchestra for last year's Homies Award? Like, that shit was...
John Williams is busy.
Yeah, and that one guy's visa didn't come through, and then he couldn't make it. Yeah,
and then the homie committee just wouldn't clear anything, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is a nightmare.
Yeah,
logistical nightmare.
Yeah, I mean,
when did you become so political?
To their credit, they did get Hans Zimmer 2 years in a row. So.
They did, which is very, very good on them. I don't know where they're paying him. I don't know what budget is coming out of either, and I'm just not going to think about it right now.
Well, that's why we're not getting paid.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I was about to say. Yeah,
he's getting paid.
That's where all the money went.
Yeah. So, obviously tonight here, we are gathered here on this monumentous occasion to discuss 2024 Batman Day. Batman! Yes. And for this year's Batman Day, we decided that we were going to talk about The Dark Knight Returns. So whether you've seen the animated movie or you've read the comic book, whichever, we got you covered. Bada bing, bada boom.
How many episodes in are we right now?
Zoom in on that. There you go.
This has got to be on the main podcast. I'll say about 520, somewhere around there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I know the Mistborn review was 500.
Yeah,
and so that's been a few months ago. So. Mm-hmm. It's insane to me that we went over 500 episodes without talking about this specific piece of work. I mean, not specifically reviewing it. We've talked about it a bit.
I was about to say,
yeah, we've talked about it. You know, we've talked around it a bunch of times.
Yeah. Didn't we review the animated movie when it came out? No, we didn't. What?
That was pre-podcast. That movie's actually quite old.
That movie's pre-podcast. Yeah.
Isn't it like 2012, 2013?
Somewhere around there.
I think part 1 in 2012 and part 2 in 2013.
I knew it was pre-podcast, but I thought for sure that we said, oh, we should review that shit. That's an easy episode. Yeah, let's do that. We love that. Nope. I guess not. Wow.
Yeah. Because
that's a crime.
Yeah, we probably... Because, yeah, I mean, if it had come out while the show was going, we probably would have reviewed it like immediately, you know?
Right.
Like, we would have done part 1 when it came out and part 2 when it came out. But,
2 week special,
And, you know, you have to think, like, it's, man, when the podcast came out, it was easy for older things to get lost because we reviewed the entire MCU, movie by movie, and then we had Black Panther, and then we had, like, Infinity War, and then we had the movies in between, and then we had Endgame, and then we had new things that were coming out, and so...
Yeah. And then whatever the DCEU had at the time, whatever,
and so it was just the timing factor, I suppose. Yeah. But it is weird to look back and realize that, wow, all these years, all these episodes, we've never really sat down and reviewed strictly The Dark Knight Returns. It's one of those things where, like, it's just known that this story is the shit. You know?
Well, we did Dark Knight Rises, right? That's like 15% this.
That's right.
And then we did Batman vs. Superman. That's like another 10% this.
Yeah.
So we reviewed around 25%.
We got like 25 to 30%. You know?
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure, like, we both talked about it in, like, episodes focusing on graphic novels as a collection and then just talking about, like, preferred graphic novels, favorites, memorable moments, or something around that verbiage.
Yeah.
Something. Yeah. But I guess... we never really gave it the appropriate spotlight it deserves.
That's true.
So that's...
We'll point out Big Damn Sin City. We'd be like, yeah, Frank Miller wrote this cool shit one time.
One time. Yeah.
You know, actually, you know, quite a few times.
Yeah, exactly.
All-Star Batman and Robin not being among
repeated
those
successes.
We don't have to talk about that one. Dark Knight Strikes Again, though. That's what we're here to talk about. Your favorite.
No, fuck that shit. I'm going to go ahead and rabbit hole this early. This is not really worth a bear with me here. I'm not going to use my one on that. Good. But, I was reading on that today because I went down the rabbit hole because I knew it was going to come up tonight, and you didn't even make it fucking 6 minutes. I fucking hate Strikes Again. But anyway, when part 1 and 2 of that came out, it was like right around September 11th. And Frank Miller actually lived like 3 miles from Ground Zero.
Wow. Which
a lot of people think that event really fucked with him because part 3 is like way off the rails from part 1 and 2. Like when they released it in parts before the Omni.
Oh, you mean like Strikes Again in particular?
Yeah. And basically everything after that is just completely off the rails that Frank Miller came out with. And that's also when he got like considerably more xenophobic and et cetera as well.
Yeah, allegedly. A lot of that xenophobic shit people took out of context. Like, like he was accused of some shit, and they went back and looked at like some old work of his and tried to
poke holes in it as like, oh look, bigotry here, blah blah blah, stuff like that, or what?
Yeah, it was along those lines, and they tried the same thing with Claremont. Of all people,
yeah, right.
And it's like, but it is one thing that I do have to agree with though is that like something did happen with Frank Miller, and it happens with almost every comic book writer who's worth their shit, and that is like they just hit like this weird lull in their writing career. It's like they've expended all their good juices, and now it's just dried up. But the comic knock on Frank Miller, and I forget who said this, but I have to give them credit for whoever said it. But once he started writing Sin City, he never stopped. And that was very fitting and very poetic because Sin City is often considered his magnum opus. Everything about that story he created, he drew it, he thought of it. It's all his. And Sin City is phenomenal. But maybe it was a little too good because he could never really get out of that mindset. And so, Caleb, you mentioned All-Star Batman and Robin, and man, that is also up here on the shelf. Mm-hmm. And, to DC's credit, right, All-Star Batman and Robin sounds like a home run. So we want to do this new Batman story that is separate from the canon, so the writer can do whatever they want, and we're going to get Frank Miller. He's agreed to write this. And then we're going to get one of the hottest artists that we have, Jim Lee. And he's going to be the artist. And it just sounds like a pairing made in heaven. And it was not. It was not.
And he actually used some of the pages in that to try to justify the bullshit he did in Dark Knight Strikes Again. And I don't know why Frank Miller hates Dick Grayson. But he just fucking thinks he is like the shittiest character ever, apparently.
I'm not sure the man's personal thoughts on old Dick.
I think we're pretty sure that he doesn't really favor the character. Now, I will say too, I read a thing today that was hilarious because it was like around the time that Dark Knight Strikes Again came out. Apparently, Frank Miller and Alan Moore were both like trying to say that they were trying to move comics away from like the grimdark shit, and I'm like, you two, y'all wanted to?
That's the flag you claim.
I think you guys are the ones that kind of plunged it into the grimdark. Not 100%, but it's like
they were definitely the spearhead. For that.
That's funny.
Yeah, I'm trying to picture what their work not being grimdark looks like, and I don't like it.
Yeah, we wouldn't be here tonight.
That'd be like in 2015, Zack Snyder was like, you know what? These movies need to be more colorful. I really don't like the direction that things are going.
Yeah.
People don't want this grounded shit. They want campy, like Zack.
Yeah.
My guy.
Or like John Peters saying, man, I don't know why people put all these mechanical spiders and shit.
Yeah. Why does everybody want to fight a spider in the movie? It's ridiculous.
You have a villain with a normal amount of legs. That's all.
Greg Berlanti's like, you know what? I'm really tired of these 22 episode fucking TV seasons.
That's a short season for him.
Right. Yeah. That reminds me, I recently watched an interview with Stephen Amell in it.
He is fucking pissed.
Yeah.
What's he even up to nowadays?
He does a show called Heels.
And he's about to be the star of the Suits spinoff.
That's right.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is going to have like 20 million people watching it, so I hope it's good.
Yeah. It's got some expectations on it. But yeah, he's upset because during the interview, the interviewer, what's his name? Chris
Van Vliet?
Van Vliet, something like
I
that.
think it's Van Vliet.
It just sounds to me
No
like if you had a
disrespect.
stroke. Yeah.
He has a very good podcast. I thoroughly enjoy it. But during that episode, he asked Steven about so in Peacemaker they made some jokes at Green Arrow's expense, or at Arrow's expense, and yeah, Stephen Amell did not take kindly to it, and he did give this really impassioned answer that is understandable, but it's I don't think that his frustration was aimed at John Cena or whoever delivered the line in Peacemaker, but I think his frustration is aimed a little bit at James Gunn. I mean, and Stephen Amell kind of took a dig back by saying that he said something along the lines of, and what we did was better than what you guys were doing.
I mean,
In what universe?
I mean,
well,
it's talking about looking at the DCEU, the Arrowverse. It certainly isn't something that I will be revisiting anytime soon.
no.
But man, I think that Arrow seasons 1 and 2, and for me, Flash seasons 1 and 2 are pretty darn good television.
During the Arrow season 2 / Arrow season 3 / Flash season 1 era,
Yeah.
the Arrowverse was better than what DCEU was doing, for sure. Like, hands down, I think the general public was way more into that stuff. Now, after that, when they decided to spin it off into 11 different shows,
All with 2 episodes.
and all of that, and like the Flash went completely off the rails, and they kind of ran out of ideas. I mean,
Pun intended.
Yeah.
yeah.
The buttons. Thank you.
Yeah.
It's so funny to me though, like not to knock any DC, Marvel, whatever the fuck product yet. We're still technically in the intro vibe here, but it's funny. You both have complimented season 1 and 2 of the Flash and Green Arrow, but you prefaced it.
To be fair, I did not compliment season 2 of the Flash. That was him.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you for correcting me. I'll take it.
I will not be on the record supporting.
However, the one thing which need not correcting is you prefaced those comments and those defenses of the Green Arrowverse and the Flash 1 season verse with, I wouldn't revisit it again. Yeah.
I would watch the first 2 seasons of Arrow again.
But I would watch Peacemaker again.
Or maybe the first season of The Flash again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, would I be willing to watch it again? Sure, but fucking when?
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, man, if there's ever another writer's strike, we should just episode by episode.
See,
Jesus.
I tried that with Batwoman.
Oh,
and-
God.
Oh, well, season 1 of Arrow will be way better than that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Hands
for
down.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Well, I was teasing more than anything because I'm like, I'm not a fan of the CW. I feel like I've made my voice popular enough on that subject, in many episodes past. Jesus Christ, there's 500 of these now. But how many of them have I bitched about that? Regardless, interesting to know.
yeah.
Since we're still in the intro portion, have either of you, and I think I know the answer probably on one of these, but have either of you checked out our new TV shows that came out this week, being Penguin and Agatha?
No and no.
Heard there's an ass shot in Agatha all along.
I heard that too. I actually am hearing that I haven't seen it yet, but I'm actually hearing that it's pretty good. Like,
The show or the ass shot?
no, the show.
That's what I was wondering. It's like, this must be some pretty good ass.
Whose ass is it? Do you know?
It's Agatha's.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Oh, she got a badonk on her. Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen the picture and I was like, who is that? Oh, okay.
I was about to
didn't
say,
expect that.
I mean, I know Aubrey Plaza's in it. She's very popular, but like, she don't got a booty, so.
You see it in Legion in like one frame.
Yeah.
She's a little skinny for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Teach their own, though. You know, all means.
There you go. Yeah.
But
so to answer your question, though, I have not had time yet. I'm still trying to finish this goddamn Suicide Squad show.
Oh, yeah, the anime. Yeah.
I've graduated from ironically enjoying it to actually kind of enjoying it.
Really?
Yeah.
That shit is ironic because I graduated from ironically hating it to like actually kind of despising this fucking show.
See, what's funny is I'm somewhere in between you two. I joked with Q about this before you came in tonight, but I was telling you, brother, that hey, I tried to watch it, and maybe it was just the wrong day for me. I watched like 30 seconds of it, and I was like, I really don't want to watch this right now. I'm not digging this immediately, so I clicked on something else.
I envy your freedom to do that. When I'm like, I don't want to watch this right now, I'm like,
what can I say?
I have to.
What can I say? I you know, the Kevlar vest is off. I no longer have to jump into these reviews waiting for bombs to go off.
If I didn't have to watch it, let me clarify. If
Yeah.
I didn't have to watch it, I wouldn't be watching it.
Okay.
Because I would have probably done what you did. Because to me, after the first episode, I was like, I don't understand a fucking thing.
That's me in One Piece.
Not one thing.
Yeah.
I won't even try to watch the One Piece anime. I watched the Netflix show.
No.
I enjoy the Netflix show.
Okay.
But yeah, I like first episode of Suicide Squad Isekai. I was like, what in the blue fuck is happening? But
Not
then,
blue. Oh no, blue fuck, not red fuck.
yeah. But by about like the third episode,
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I appreciate what they were trying to do here.
Okay.
And then about that time also, I found out how bad he hates it. And so that raises my enjoyment a tad.
I figured. Yeah,
You know?
I was just about to ask. That makes sense. So let me ask you this, and then we'll finally get to the subject eventually. I asked Q, is it like taking itself too seriously? Is it like taking itself seriously but also trying to mix in that James Gunn Suicide Squad energy? Or is it trying too hard to replicate James Gunn energy?
It is definitely not taking itself too seriously.
Okay, cool. So you said something very similar. So that's
the
good to
same
know.
thing, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't necessarily think it's trying to ape James Gunn. I do think that there are elements in it that are like just super prevalent in every Suicide Squad thing. And I kind of am starting to hate that shit. You know? Like there's the moment where they all think that Waller is like with them and then she threatens to blow them all up. And I'm like, this happens every goddamn time. Like, you know.
Yeah.
It's getting a little tropey at this point.
Yeah, I get that.
I think I would have liked this show. I mean, I think I'm 6 or 7 episodes in, somewhere around there.
See,
Sure.
I think
I thought 5, 6, and I think I thought 5, 6, and 7. I thought were like fantastic.
the Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Where they fight the Thinker and all that.
Yeah. And there's a dragon that they fight before that. Yeah. I seen all of that
With the frying pan. Yeah.
with the giant fucking walk frying pan. Yeah. So I guess my thing is like,
Why does that feel like
as-
cultural appropriation?
as an anime, if it was like its own thing, I would be like, yeah, this is a fine anime, but as a Suicide Squad product, I do not see the value in this. But we have that review coming up later on, so you guys can look forward to hearing my positive raving review.
I know that the Harley and Katana fight pissed you the fuck off.
I was like, this shouldn't be a fucking fight. It should not be a fight.
I was literally watching
Yeah,
that.
Katana should have won that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my thought.
Yeah, it was. They had a sword fight. Like, yeah. I
the fuck's
was
Harley
sitting
gonna
there-
do?
I was sitting there watching it, and I was like, "Oh, it's gonna be so mad." And I was like, and I should also be mad, but I'm not.
I was sitting on my couch looking around like there was other people like, are y'all seeing this shit? Like Harley Quinn versus Katana.
I gotta watch the fight now. I'm curious because it's like,
Wow.
it makes sense. Katana's the only one between those two who's gonna be prevalent with a sword to kick ass.
It's so ironic because like I think maybe for part of the cold open on the last episode that Caleb and I did, I spoke about how Harley Quinn, she's devolved into just being DC's version of Deadpool, except at least Deadpool is a trained assassin.
Yeah.
She's a fucking psychiatrist. And
Who was a gymnast in school apparently.
and I'm like, where does her plot armor come from? Deadpool has a fucking healing factor and fourth wall breaking shenanigans and all that, and like even Deadpool had to take in in segments. I can't do a whole lot of Deadpool in one go.
Yeah, that's fair. Like medicine.
Yeah.
It's like Harley Quinn has plot armor, and I'm not sure if I'm coining this term. I think someone's more clever than I came up with it prior to this, but plot weaponry or plot skill set, really. Yeah, because it's like, oh, I need her to be a ninja badass here, or I need her to be a demolitions expert here,
right?
You know.
Oh yeah, the Mary Sue effect. That Ray Palpatine shit.
Oh.
Where she's like the best fighter, the best pilot, the best ship engineer, the best navigator.
Yeah.
You know.
But only when you need it, though.
Yeah.
It makes me very happy to hear you say that.
Yeah. Fuck that bitch.
That's going to be a fun movie to review, too.
Wait,
oh
which one?
my God.
The Ray Palpatine movie.
Yeah, like...
What?
She's getting her own movie.
She's getting her own movie.
Why?
Who knows?
Is it Daisy? What's her face?
Oh, yeah.
Why?
Yeah, Daisy, I've never been in anything worth a fuck, really.
Oh, fuck. Damn.
Well, okay, the only major stuff she's been in, besides Star Wars, is a movie with Tom Holland, and that shit sucked. Are we blaming Tom Holland? No.
What movie was that?
It was, it had an interesting premise.
Exactly.
It wasn't even, it was something like,
Wait, was it the one where, like, emotions are shown or some? It was like ladies could see all the guys' thoughts, like, broadcasted.
Yeah.
Which
I think I remember hearing about that.
Which it made me laugh that the movie was rated PG-13. I'm like, there's no fucking
There's
way.
no fucking way.
Yeah. No, that movie should be NC-17.
Oh, right. It's like they made a sequel to What Men Want called What Women Want.
Yeah.
And I was like, no. Do not make this movie.
No.
Yeah.
And it's definitely not Daisy Ridley.
Oh, yeah, no.
So I don't understand.
Right.
Jesus.
But, man, we rabbit-holed hard there.
We did. I'm sorry. I said I was
Hey, what's up?
Yeah.
I'm here to fuel the fire.
Yeah, so we were talking about Suicide Squad Isekai.
Yeah.
And before that, we were talking about all the other shit we have to watch, like Agatha All Along. Have you seen it yet, Caleb?
No, but I was trying to watch it the day it came out because apparently there's some things that happen, and I'm really trying to avoid spoilers. But I'm probably going to watch it on Sunday. But I'm hearing that it is basically like a sequel to WandaVision. So
okay.
And I'm hearing that it's pretty good. Like so, that's shocking to me.
I mean, that's best case scenario, I suppose. I'll admit my expectations were not.
I mean, you probably won't like it because I don't think it's for you. I don't think it's for me either. But
okay.
I mean, if it is in fact a sequel, because I love WandaVision. You know.
Oh well.
I don't know if it has that same kind of vibe or like it does it feel like episodes 1 through 7 WandaVision, or does it feel like the season finale? Because if it feels like the finale, then I might not be on board.
Well, for what I mean is they are essentially picking up from there, and they kind of, I guess, deal with some of the fallout from Westview.
Okay.
And then also they are keeping with the, like, TV trope format to tell the story. Yeah. So
I remember seeing some of that in the previews, actually. Yeah, like the changing of the camera lenses and stuff like that. Yeah, so.
But it's got kind of like a Hocus Pocus vibe to it, too.
Okay.
You know? And I'm like, people love that.
Yeah.
So I think people who enjoy that probably like the show. But I haven't seen it yet. So
it's going to be interesting seeing how Marvel handles the character of Agatha Harkness. Because I'll be honest, I enjoyed the TV show. I mean, WandaVision, and I enjoyed Catherine Hahn's performance. Mm-hmm. I don't think that Marvel understands the character, though.
No, I don't think they do.
No.
So it's going to be interesting seeing what they do with her.
Considering that where I anticipated that this would be on our MCU ranking list is at the bottom, it can only go up from there. My expectations are in the dirt. So
yeah.
Which
funny how that works.
Yeah, I think Kevin, like for Caleb and I's MCU rankings, I think it was Quantumania that ended up at the very bottom.
No, it was Ant-Man 2.
That's
right. Ant-Man and the Wasp that ended up at the very bottom.
All the Ant-Mans would have been very bottom for me.
I wanted to put fucking Love and Thunder there.
That was it wasn't far. Like the bottom, like the bottom 8.
There's a lot of options for the bottom. Yeah. There's a lot of right answers.
Yeah.
I think Ant-Man 1 though did okay. I think it made it in the top 30 or so.
Ant-Man 1 is one of those movies that, admittedly, I like more as time goes on. I still see his flaws. For sure.
I like it less as time goes on because I have more time to think about it. You know,
and it's like, well,
it's like that argument you have with your significant other where you're arguing about something, blah blah blah. You walk away 2 minutes later, and another thing, and you walk back into the room angry about some other goddamn thing, and you're like, ugh. I thought about that too. You know, that's me with that movie. So.
Oh shit. Well, another part of it though is that, man, by comparison, we've gotten so much worse shit since then.
Right.
At the time. At the time of Ant-Man 1, I think that we were justified in how we felt entirely. But it's like, looking at all the shit that we've gotten since then, man, it's hard to...
It's sad when that begins to act as a justifier of, well, I guess it's better now.
Well, that's part of it. The other part of it is that, like, there are some good... Like, Scott Lang was a competent character in that movie. Mm-hmm. They showed up that he had skills, computer skills, breaking in skills. He was a competent character for that one movie.
Yeah.
And part of Endgame.
Yeah.
And, I mean, they had some really cool and creative fight scenes in that movie. And he had an actual motive.
I mean, Ant-Man's best stuff is in other movies, like
it's
Civil War and Endgame is all his best stuff.
But his sequels have done him zero justice. Zero.
Yeah, no.
Especially with they hype Quantumania up, it's like, this is the beginning of Phase 5. Yeah. We're going to introduce the new big bad, blah 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 blah, and then trash.
I've also heard good things about Penguin, but I haven't seen that yet either.
Is it based on the same Penguin we got from Robert Pattinson Batman?
Yep.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yep.
Because I mean, Colin Farrell, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Surprisingly amazing Penguin. So I'm very interested in that show. If I only had to watch one of the two, it'd probably be Penguin. So.
Oh yeah, I would imagine. But interestingly enough, the Metacritic scores are very close between the two of them.
Yeah.
How about that?
For some reason, that doesn't really surprise me.
Yeah.
But
they're still trying to get checks from both DC and Disney. Yeah.
Well,
both the Ds.
Well, it's interesting.
Double Ds.
Well, Metacritic probably ain't getting shit, but the people that put the reviews in are.
Yeah.
Because IGN be giving some crazy scores.
Oh my gosh.
At that 9.3 they gave Iron Man 3 back in the day, I still haven't forgiven them.
Have not forgotten about that.
I love that neither of you will let that go.
No.
It's hilarious to me.
It's so many. They gave Last of Us Part 2, I think, a 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, they gave it a perfect 10. I remember that.
And I lived that.
There must have been something else on their disc. Because not the one that I got.
Okay.
How far down this rabbit hole are we now, brother?
I think we're done.
I don't know, bro. I could keep digging.
There just must have been a copy of that Sinbad Shazam movie that that supposedly never happened.
I still believe that movie exists somewhere, goddammit. Yeah. I need it.
It's in Shaq's fault.
We should probably talk about Dark Knight Returns.
We probably should.
Yeah, eventually. We're half an hour into this now.
Yeah.
Hey, guys. Thanks for sticking around.
Thanks for showing up, guys.
Yeah.
Celebrate Batman Day.
Batman Day.
Batman Day. Oh, yeah, I have to do the thing.
Yeah.
Batman Day.
This is the thing. Ever since we have a camera, now it's...
Yeah.
His hands up.
We can do a wave now. There's 3 of us.
Oh yeah.
So,
Here, let me back up a little bit.
Here we go.
It's a very short wave. It's like a wave you went to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina.
Yeah.
Where they advertise the biggest waves. So.
Well, like one of those wave machines that don't really generate the waves like they say it does.
Like a water park or something. Yeah.
Well, anyways, proper introductions are in order. For those of you who are new here, you're probably wondering, holy shit, these guys have rambled for 30 minutes about nothing and haven't even introduced themselves.
And I'm loving it.
Get used to it. And welcome. But I would like to welcome you guys to another very wonderful episode of the Superhero Homies podcast. My name is Quentin, and tonight I am here joined with the OG, the original flavor, my brother, the homie, Kevin.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, how are we doing today? Yeah! And then, of course, beside me is the other co-host, the partner in crime to this awesome dynamic duo that you see on many episodes, Caleb, the man.
See, before I came on as co-host, I was like a 6-time guest of the year.
Basically, yeah.
See, now we just swapped.
Yeah, actually, yeah.
And now you can just rack up those guest of the year awards.
You know what? That is a good question. When do I come for my award? Yeah.
So the committee will contact you.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
Oh,
those get
okay.
decided at the same time as the homie awards.
They
right?
do.
Okay. Which we'll pretend I won't be here for. Yeah. Okay. Sure. Yeah. Like I won't be here with a tuxedo tie and everything.
I would expect nothing
AKA
less.
a bow tie.
Yes. You might be able to help us get a new orchestra.
That'd be dope.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah. I could swing some things. Yeah.
Yeah, because the one from last year, I don't think they're coming back.
Yeah. We put them through some things, and that was interesting. Which is fuck it. I go ahead and plug it here, guys. So yeah, the Homies Award is technically fast approaching.
Mm-hmm.
It's typically held at the end of every year, but things have been done differently since last year's Homies Award. So all the categories will be decided by all of you instead of the Homie Committee. So you guys will get to vote and decide on what movie or TV show or whatever wins what award. So
Wow.
I look forward to that.
Yeah, I'm hella excited to see what you guys put up on the voting boards and everything.
Yes.
Please don't disappoint.
Oh, I was very proud of them last year.
Good.
Incredibly proud.
They could have done better. But,
Oh, well, okay. We'll talk about that.
Yeah.
We got out of the rabbit hole, kind of.
You guys did a great job. Don't let.
I believe that you guys can do much better because I've seen what you guys can do before.
Just give X-Men 97 everything it's up for, and we'll be fine.
Okay, you know what? See, that I'm not mad at.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, actually, that's a good idea.
That actually makes
I lean that vote. Yeah.
Okay.
My gosh.
So
good.
Well, X-Men 97 sure is excellence, but what is also excellence is tonight's discussion. This big-ass blue and black Bible right here. Skip that. Just Dark Knight Returns in general.
Yeah. Well, is that like the just Dark Knight Returns, or is there more in there?
They've also put Strikes Again in here, which is why it's so big.
Okay. I was wondering because I'm like, this is original size here. There's Two Machine. There you go. And I'm like, there's a lot more in that. Yeah. Jesus Christ.
How does that
so
translate?
This one actually is what you want.
What the fuck did I just open up to?
Okay. Fuck?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Anyways.
Strikes Again. Yeah. So we are here to discuss one of the most prolific and iconic Batman. One of the most prolific and iconic comic books of all time. The Dark Knight Returns came out back in 1986, and ever since then it has been talked about, read, and referenced frequently. And you can tell that DC really has a high seller on their hands when they do one of the following or several of the following. When they, A, constantly keep the book in print, B, constantly make new and different prints of the book, C, make an animated movie after it, and D, always have it on the lips of the readers. They do all of those constantly for The Dark Knight Returns.
Yeah.
I think this one even stands kind of above that class because this was meant to be like a one-off, not canon to the main, story or whatever. This was just like hey, Frank Miller, go do whatever the fuck you want with Batman.
Right.
And that's not something they give out lightly. Here's the cash cow, do whatever you want. That's not really a thing they do, especially now.
Yeah.
But this was just supposed to be an offshoot.
And it became like a real big cultural thing, and it maybe wasn't the start, but it certainly kicked off, I think, the phase of comic books becoming more serious and more grounded. But you could also argue that Frank Miller did that previously when he worked on Daredevil, because that's really where he kind of cut his teeth. He also did some RoboCop comic books that were really good enough to almost be adapted into the sequel movies, but never happened for whatever reason. But he really cut his teeth with the Daredevil books, which were amazing. If you guys haven't read that, highly recommend it. But Dark Knight Returns, it really stands out above the rest. What were you guys' thoughts on this story as a whole? What were your feelings on it?
So let me say that it's interesting, like Batman as a whole, because I think we're all both big fans. We're all big fans of Batman, but we all, have kind of a different set of ideas of like what Batman should be or what he is or whatnot. And I think that's pretty rare. Because I think, for instance, like I think most like diehard Superman fans kind of all think about Superman in a similar way. Mm-hmm. But I think there's so many different facets to Batman that you can have, like, let's say, for example, 3 different people that all have a completely different view of the character, but are all super big fans of the character. So I think that's really speaks to the iconography of the Batman. And like we talked about this not being a canon thing, but it's still built off of decades of the familiarities with these characters, because it was kind of writing an ending to a lot of these characters. And a lot of those endings were tremendous. For some reason, we just kind of felt like we should keep going after that. But just this work as a whole, though, like if this is how Batman's story had ended, it's hard for me to imagine a better one.
Yeah, that's actually really well put.
I think, Kevin, you were talking about something like that earlier, weren't you?
Yeah, I was actually just about to open and share it up now that we're recording. But while Q and I were kind of like doing our homework for tonight's episode, I was kind of sharing a thought. I first read The Dark Knight Returns whenever you and I began living together. And whenever we were just about to start the podcast and everything, and I was going through this awesome library I found where all the books could be rented, without giving a library card, without paying any fees, no memberships or anything. I just had the best library access all the time. You might know about it, actually. You kept buying the books. And
if you're on the video, you see it.
Yeah, exactly. Like the library. Yeah. All these books were, free to access. But yeah, no, I think it might have actually been this exact one where I was like just fingering through and like, oh, let me start this over from the top, and read it all. And now, years later, it's still a story revered by many and all, including myself, obviously. But also, it's something where, I guess, as my thoughts and my maturity develops, I've come to realize that this is the best story. And frankly, probably one of the only ones that could tackle Old Man Batman, to borrow a common trope from Marvel now, in the best way. Like, there's been no other story that has tackled Batman as an aged figure nearly as well. At this point, we get Batman, and like you were talking about as well, all his characters and all the others that make the Batman universe what it is. What happens whenever they get old, respect one another, know who each other are, but then also just how do you tie a ribbon on those stories? Like, how do you appropriately give them the sign-off they deserve? And this has been, like, the best and most successful telling of those stories to date. Because, frankly, I to my knowledge, to my understanding, and all, opinion, subjective and all that, there's not been another rendition of these characters as they age and develop, and, like, their adventures are coming to a close, and it's time for them to retire from fighting crime in the streets or being the commissioner of the city or whatever have you. There's been no other successful telling of those stories.
Yeah, I think the DCEU tried, right? Like they really tried to do something in the vein of this book. But as we have talked about before, and we have brought up the Dark Knight Returns in relation to this, like, this story built on decades of public knowledge, right? And you said this came out in 86 originally?
Yeah. 86.
So you got to think, there is no Batman 89 yet. Batman as a cinema megastar did not exist yet.
Yeah.
So it came from decades of people who had knowledge mainly of the comics. It even came out before the animated series. So you would have had to know about the comics, because none of the stuff you were going to see in, like, Adam West Batman was going to mean a fucking thing to any of this.
Yeah.
Or what's the one that's even older than that?
Like the black and
the
white
old
ones?
black and white one.
Oh my god,
I loved those when I was a kid, though.
Oh, those were creepy, man. Like,
Yeah.
I'll scare the shit out of me.
Yeah. I used to have those. Yeah.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I had those on VHS or whatever.
You just run around and
Yeah. They were a lot of trains.
Oh yeah.
It kind of looked like they filmed them all on just like a old western set,
Yeah.
you know.
That's dope.
Probably.
Wow.
They probably did, yeah.
Yeah.
They probably did some of it in some of those spaghetti westerns or whatever.
Oh, for sure.
It was cheap to
'Cause they
make.
were cheap.
Yeah,
Makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, so you would have had to have had knowledge of the comics in order to process and really understand this story. But as we go forward, and these characters are all now megastars. I mean, the Joker, Two-Face, Superman, obviously.
Yeah.
I mean, the only one who really isn't like of the main villains would be like the mutant leader.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, these are all megastars now, and so I think that's one of the reasons that this story holds up so well, is because you could read it 10 years ago, you can read it today, you can read it 10, 15 years from now, and it will still be a decent, like, just this, like, great ending for these characters, because I don't think anybody else is going to do an ending for them, you know, because they don't want that. Like, DC wants it to go on forever, you know.
Or something that takes each character into appropriate consideration too, because this story isn't just about Batman. This story goes into, like I joked about a second ago, Commissioner Gordon, Selena Kyle, Green Arrow, you know,
Yeah, I really love Oliver's stuff.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
And I love that there's there's enough answers to introduce a mystery within these pages or within the movie. You know, like they talk about certain things throughout the book, and you wonder, man, I wonder what really happened here. Like, not to trigger you, Caleb, but man, what happened between Bruce and Dick? You know,
Oh, I love that scene in the original. Like, if I before I knew where it went, you know, because like when they're having that excellent conversation at the table where Gordon and him are both man of few words, both of them, and he's like, you know, you talked to Dick lately, and he's like, you know, I haven't, and I'm like, hey, wait up,
yeah, right.
Why does he know you haven't?
Yeah.
And you know, and they reference Jason, you know, a couple of times, and like
and they reference Jason being the reason why Bruce stepped down.
And they do a lot with. There's a lot of iconography around the Jason Todd stuff. Like you actually in this story, probably more than any other, except for Red Hood, you really get to see him processing that trauma still. Yeah. Especially when the mutant leader, you know, picks up the crowbar and hits him with it. Yeah. And you see that look where he's just like, oh, fuck, am I about to go out the same way, you know?
I just think there's so much there. You know, there's obviously the mystery with Ollie and Superman. Like, we know that something happened between those two, and it resulted in Ollie losing that arm, looks like.
I have a feeling that Clark just ripped that shit off.
Oh yeah, that's the guess we all have.
See, in my mind, he got Homelandered. Lasered. Yeah.
Well, he got Homelandered no matter what. But yeah, he probably did laser it so that he didn't bleed to death. Yeah.
But I'm like, fucking why? You know?
Yeah, like what happened between those two to cause that big moment? Yeah, so
they told him to retire. He didn't. Yeah. He went out. Superman lasered his arm off. He was like, "Now take your ass to the house."
I guess. I need to look and see here because in the animated movie, they make it very apparent that the president was Reagan.
Yeah,
you know, and I'm like, I don't remember if we actually see.
I'll help you look.
Oh no, here it is. Yeah, no, it's definitely
Reagan.
Yeah, it's Reagan. Never mind. Fuck.
Yeah, and we looked it up. He was the president in '86 as well. For those of you who want to know, who probably some of you already know.
For those of you who weren't, you know, who definitely weren't alive.
Yeah,
I mean, none of us were alive.
That's true.
Yeah, I was about to say I wasn't.
That's what had to refresh you.
Yeah. It was like none of us were alive in '86.
Who definitely weren't alive. That was a real long time ago.
Well, like even back before '94.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Jesus,
like a real long time ago.
So just looking at like the setting here of this book, Gotham seems like it's just in complete and utter shit. And this is kind of one of the reasons why I've always wondered what happened to Dick. Like, I can definitely see, you know, Dick having issues with the way that maybe Bruce is conducting himself, and so he leaves. I don't know if I believe that there would be a world where like he wouldn't try to make amends if that meant the better of Gotham.
Right.
Yeah.
But Gotham is in a real shit place here, and there not only is like the absence of Batman such a terrible thing for Gotham, but it's led to the rise of these other, albeit minor in comparison, criminals like the mutant gangs and whatnot.
Yeah.
But you look at it, and they reference like 12 years ago, Two-Face got put away, and he's been in jail since then. I think what they say 10 years, the Joker's been locked up, and I imagine that's probably the last thing that Batman did, if I had to guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, there's no scenario where he hangs up the cape and Joker's still out there.
No.
Yeah. And this could be. The more I look at this story and think about it, and look at like the mindset of Joker and Batman in this book, I feel like whoever acted first, the other one was always going to react.
Yeah. That's fair. Which is interesting. It's spoiler alert, because we see here that 10 years later, Joker's been in a catatonic state practically in this asylum, this rehab center for whatever, and only upon hearing Batman's active again. He's like a sleeper agent. He's like, Batman? Oh, and crime engage, easy as that.
I love that element of it.
Oh, so good, right?
Because it's like, Joker really has nothing to live for if there's no Batman. That's why he won't kill him.
Yeah.
Like...
Just hurt him real bad.
He could have killed Batman a bunch of times.
Oh, yeah.
Like a bunch of times.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, he demonstrated it when he killed Jason,
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean... he doesn't seem like he's just flesh and blood, but he is.
Right.
Ultimately, at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And while we're talking about the Joker, I might be getting a little ahead of myself here, but in the animated movie, Michael Emerson's performance as Joker here is the most underrated Joker performance. Like, I mean, he's like right under Mark Hamill for me.
Yeah.
And I don't give that shit out lightly.
I think that he's really good. I think that like. John DiMaggio in Under the Red Hood was...
yes.
I was about to say, that's a good competitor. Yeah.
I mean, because like you hear John DiMaggio's voice and anything else, and you're like, I don't really know if that can be Joker.
Right.
But like Michael Emerson, I can look at him and be like, oh,
yeah. We even look up a picture of Michael.
Yeah, he could play on it for sure.
It's kind of funny because you think John DiMaggio, and you're like, you're fucking talking about Jake the dog? What? Yeah.
Bender?
He dropped so many good lines in this, but my favorite one in the whole thing, like the delivery and the like how hilarious it is when he hits him with the fucking batarangs and the one goes in his eye, and he's like, "Are you fucking crazy?" Right. I just every time that shit gets me.
And like, you kind of have to wonder in that moment, like, was Batman, because he hasn't done this in 10 years, was his aim just a little off, or did he just...
Nah, Batman said, I'm fucking tired of this. It's about punch your ticket, man.
No, he's done. And, like, that's the moment the Joker figures it
out.
out.
We were just talking about that,
It's like, oh, we playing for keeps now. Okay. We're not just... This isn't just back in the day. We're not fucking around here.
All cards on the table. Yeah. We just were saying that exact same thing on the couch, dude, watching the movie. We were just talking about how that's the moment Joker realized, all right, live and die, let's go. And he's just running through the amusement park, gunning everything down just because he knows, this is my last chance.
Last hurrah.
Like, this motherfucker's probably about to kill me, so...
Let me empty this and this clip.
Oh, man.
Jesus.
But I want to talk about the start of this book, because I think that, like...
Now that we've jumped through the book.
And like Kevin said earlier, just to reiterate, spoiler alert for this 38-year-old story.
Now that we're like 48 minutes into this. Arguably only 18, really, because it took us 30 to get started.
That's true.
Yeah, exactly.
But the way this book starts is Bruce Wayne, he's doing like this kind of F1 style racing, and he does not let up or relent, even though his vehicle is telling him otherwise. And eventually the bitch catches fire, and then it becomes a whole fucking fireball, and then it explodes, but Bruce bails. one thing I was telling Kevin before we started recording is that, man, like, I love the animated movie because it does such a great job of bringing like these scenes to life and really just fleshing them out and showing you the moments in between the moments.
Yeah.
But the advantage that the comics have is that you really get more of an in-depth view of what Bruce is thinking. Yeah. So like a lot of the internal monologue doesn't make it into the movie. I mean, it's there if you're paying attention to like the physical looks, but if you're looking for like exact thoughts, then you have to go to the comics. And Bruce, he's thinking in these moments like, man, like this would be a good death, but not good enough, you know. And he's looking for that excitement, and it's just not there anymore. It's 10 years, and he's just empty on the inside.
I do remember, you know, reading the graphic novel and then and watching the movie, and that was definitely the major thing that the movie was missing was Batman's like internal monologue.
Yeah.
Other than that, you know, I think the movie does a tremendous job.
Absolutely.
It does a few things kind of out of order, like, you know, there's a few things it changes, like Two-Face was going to blow the bombs up himself in the movie. Joker actually arranged it in the graphic novel, but he wasn't awake yet in the movie because they picked the perfect moment to end part one with him waking up. Because we had to wait like, 6 months or something for that second part? Yeah. And it was like, you motherfucker.
Right.
Yeah, right.
They really did. And I realized that, right, because I like you, Caleb, I had to cram. So, like, I think it was yesterday I read the entire first half of the story, and then I had to go to bed finally. And then, like, today...
At 3 in the morning.
Yeah, and then today I watched the second half, but I was like, what do I start at?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, it was still just a fun way to kind of do it. But Caleb, earlier you mentioned the conversation between Commissioner Gordon and Bruce, and I love that scene.
Yeah,
it's a great moment because they're just two old friends, and now you know that like okay, like the secret, there is no secret. Like Gordon knows.
Yeah.
And I just really love like you know them just you know palling about. Man, a few words that you mentioned, and making small talk, but both of them are kind of in a spot where like they don't really know what's next because Gordon is about to retire.
Yeah,
and
the only unknown, really.
Yeah. It's the only unknown for him, and Bruce still feels so empty inside, and he doesn't know what to do next. You know,
I feel like Gordon. But the contrast between the two of them is I feel like Gordon is a lot more at peace with it.
Yeah.
Like he definitely is like, you know, had a really long career, great career. You know, he definitely left his mark on the city or whatever. But I think the contrast with him and Bruce is like, we've talked about this at length. Like Bruce Wayne is the mask. Like he is Batman.
Yeah.
How long can he go around pretending that he's just Bruce Wayne?
Right.
You know, 10 years in, he's just feels empty.
Yeah.
Whereas Gordon, I think, is a lot more at peace with everything, like with what he's done.
Well, also, I mean, you gotta think too. Like Gordon, throughout the years, like there was a time whenever like his marriage was on the rocks because of his job and because of his dedication to it. And then here in the graphic novel and in the movie, we see that like, hey, I'm retiring. I'm done. Here's this new commissioner. I'm going home. He's got a good home life with Sarah. They're empty nesters. They can enjoy like being together finally and let the city be.
Yeah.
Except Gordon's a great man. So yeah.
And I think that's kind of like his. Maybe regret isn't the wrong word, but it's a close word, close enough.
His resolve, maybe.
Yeah, it's that the fact that he's stepping down, knowing that there's this mutant threat, you know, and not like the xenophobic X-Men kind of mutant threat, but like the the gang.
Gordon is just a bigot against mutants. Right. He's just like screw Xavier. Smokes a cigar.
He goes to Marvel, becomes J. Jonah Jameson. You know.
Hey, while we're you're talking about the beginning of this, man, time has been very unkind to Lana Lang. Like,
oh gosh, yeah.
Like
Lana Lang and Selena.
And Selena, like, goddamn, what the fuck?
Yeah. Selena just at least look like an older, like, naturally older version of herself.
But Lana,
yeah.
Lana looks like she ate at McDonald's for every meal between 1975 and whenever this is supposed to take place.
Hey man, we don't speak bad about Lana in this, all right? She's a Batman supporter,
Yeah, that's true.
That's true. She's
staunch Batman supporter. And also, for whatever it means, she didn't age as much as her contemporaries.
That's true.
That's true.
That's true. Yeah. Or she just had really good hairstylist.
That could be it.
Yeah.
What is the name of the goddamn psychiatrist that is treating the worst?
Wallabum? Wallabum. It was something like that. Because I remember making a pun on his last name.
Yeah.
Like Wallabum, more like Wallop. But I gotta find it again, yeah.
Yeah,
it's something. As we all fall silent and leave some
just
silent air out there.
Yeah,
what?
So where's
that's the image of him. The first one I saw was him wearing a Superman shirt.
Because of course he fucking would.
Of course he fucking would. Like a bitch.
What an asshole.
It definitely starts with a W.
Yeah, it's
Wall. What is this guy's name?
Now we don't need to.
I know, right? Frank Miller right there is
we don't ever need to. It's
Yeah, what you got?
Hold on.
Okay.
But Walper.
Walper?
Yeah, Wolper.
Walper.
Yeah.
It just really sounds like we're talking about a Burger King sandwich.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which may or may not be copyrighted. I don't know at this point. Fuck it. Yeah. That actually reminds me of another off-brand question, and please don't let this derail us too long. I'm trying to remember. Is Batman public property now?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Close.
Okay. Close. Okay. Thank you. Because I knew the Big Mouse is public property now.
I think will it be either in 2029 or 2039 Batman becomes 2039 becomes public domain.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, because
public domain. Thank you. Yeah, I got the term wrong. Yeah.
Because it's typically 100 years, right? It's like the limit.
Brother.
Yeah, but so there is a caveat to that though, because it's like not gonna be
all versions
like,
of Batman.
Yeah, it's just gonna be like the very first when they filed the initial trademark.
So like Steamboat Willie is okay.
Right. That's why. Like the Mickey Mouse that's like in the Disney parks right now, that is not public domain. They will sue the shit out of you. But like the Steamboat Willie version is public domain. You can do whatever you want with that. You can draw a big old dick on him. You can do whatever you want. Like, but
image pops up now. No, I'm joking.
So yeah, it'll be like whatever that original like Detective Comics fucking whatever.
So he'll have a gun. He'll be shooting motherfuckers. All right.
Yeah.
He'll have a hyphen in his name. That'll be weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, the reason I mentioned Dr. Walper is because he's the worst goddamn psychiatrist on the planet.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
And he was clearly meant to sort of, I think, represent like like Frank Miller was definitely trying to say something with this character. He was definitely meant to represent like the people who make excuses for like criminals in general.
Right. Like maybe the people who weren't there to witness it themselves, and so they didn't know the extent of the heroines as Batman. They've had 10 years to forget, and he represents the audience who never got to be saved by Batman, but instead he's like, hey, this guy is insane. He's causing all this insanity. No. He saved that bank full of people. He saved the hospital full of children. But
yeah. I mean, you have people like a grown ass man on the police force we see in this that thinks he was just a myth.
Yeah,
exactly.
You know?
Yeah. He was just, I guess, a little kid when Batman was around Batmaning. But
that's a verb.
It's a verb now. Yeah.
Is that verb public domain? Are you allowed to say that?
Batmaning is trademarked. But I bring up Dr. Walper because the first case that we really see him in is with the Harvey Dent stuff, and I really like the Harvey Dent stuff.
Oh yeah. It's just
very
the
cool.
most incredible like Harvey Dent kind of way to wrap his character up. The whole thing with them like fixing his face, like
oh gosh,
it's gold.
Awesome.
that moment where he looks in the mirror and like both sides of his face are fucked up.
Yeah. It's that moment right there, man, that I really dig, and I think with that's also one of the reasons why Bruce comes out of retirement. One excuse he uses to come out of retirement is because he apparently has been funding a lot of Harvey's progress or development.
Yeah.
And so he really wants Harvey to be better. You know, he wants the old Harvey Dent back.
Right.
Whereas Commissioner Gordon, he's a little bit more pessimistic.
Yeah.
He's like, nope. Motherfucker's back to his old ways. And it's interesting to see that, right? How Bruce is the optimistic one here.
This is no longer the heroes that the city deserves. We're okay. Yeah.
Well, and that's another thing too that we mentioned earlier, that this story just becomes more relevant over time. Mm-hmm. If you were to watch The Dark Knight, and then immediately watch this, you could completely see like that evolution there, where like this was like Bruce's hope that the city could become something more without him,
right?
And then that went to shit, and so like you could almost see this as a sequel to Dark Knight, where Bruce never gave up on him, well until this moment, he's like, all right, well,
God damn it,
I'm too old for this shit.
But it's interesting, right? Because they do some reconstructive surgery on Harvey's face and to make his face whole again. Yeah. And he presents like he's completely quote unquote fixed.
Right. Yeah.
Like he's whole again. And because he was two different, but now he's whole.
No, we got it.
Yeah, I was about to say the joke's hilarious when you explain it. Yeah.
Thank you.
Goddamn.
But the other thing about Bruce and him coming out of retirement though is that like he gets to notice that so Harvey, he fucking fled the scene. He's out of here.
Yeah.
And they don't know where the fuck he is. There's these mutant gang leaders out there, and Bruce goes to revisit Crime Alley, just because that's what Bruce Wayne does on his spare time.
Right.
And he's reliving the moment again, of course, where his parents got shot, and he almost gets mugged by these two mutants. I say almost; they didn't stand a chance.
Oh yeah.
He kind of reveled in that moment too.
Before we get too far into it, in the animated movie, they chose Peter Weller to play like the older Bruce.
Yeah.
What'd you guys think of his performance here?
Loved it. Yeah.
I mean, he's RoboCop. You gotta love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought he was tremendous.
I think he has that gravitas to him.
Yeah, the way he delivers some of these lines are just incredible.
Oh yeah.
It definitely had the magnetism to draw you in, to make you want to hear every word.
Yeah.
Man, I was telling Kevin this too. I was like, I can only hope to look like that at age 55.
Yeah.
I mean, god damn, what a fucking unit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely elements of the of Frank Miller's like machismo stuff in this, where Batman is just this huge motherfucker.
Right.
Even the bat on the suit
man.
is like you can almost see little
the fat
bat muscles in that shit.
Yeah.
That's been great though. This is just a nothing burger, I'm sure, but with Harvey Dent, he gets the reconstructive surgery, and he goes on TV or whatever, and people think that he's good, but he's not, and he flees and he goes back to his old gang, and when he goes back to his old gang, he has the bandage wrapped around his face.
Yeah.
It looks a lot like Hush, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Hands down.
Or I should say, Hush looks a lot like Harvey Dent from this book.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because this would predate it.
Yeah.
My two favorite Batman books.
Right. Yeah. And they're like 20 years apart.
Yeah.
But so I just thought that was always interesting. Like, I don't know if that was always intentional or what, but it's just a very distinctive look, to say the least.
Yeah, I mean, because like they weren't doing a nod, right? I mean, like we said, it didn't exist yet, so
couldn't have been.
So yeah, I mean, at least the basis of it, like they had to have looked at this book and somebody, something went off, like, oh, hey, this is a cool looking character.
Yeah.
Right.
So Bruce does eventually. He decides, I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna kick ass. This is a moment that is so incredible in both the book and the animated movie, and they do such a good job because you just see like these random crimes happening across the city.
Yeah.
And Batman, he's coming to stop them. Also, a bat breaks through his window a second goddamn time.
Right. Right.
So, but here's the thing, though. Here's where it gets interesting. To my knowledge, the first time that happened was in Batman Year One, which was also written by Frank Miller. But that was written after Dark Knight Returns. So Frank Miller,
he made it its own prophecy.
He did.
Yeah. That's pretty great.
Yeah. I don't know where Frank has about flying rodents flying into windows. But
it's a sign.
I've always thought, but what if like the bat just like and then just slides down,
Which is way more realistic. Let's be honest. Right. It's not a large creature.
Yeah. Not to mention, I mean, it's Bruce Wayne. He's gonna have tempered glass in his
windows.
That's
true. But he's not Batman yet, right?
Oh, that's true.
Well, no. It happened first here.
I mean,
where he's been.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
He had to get bulletproof glass for that bitch.
That's true.
That bat was like, "Fuck this shit."
Right.
Yeah.
He's like, "I need a glass that will stop bullets, but not bats."
Me. Yeah. just imagine the pressure like of being that bat. Like, hey man, like you're the bat. Like, you're the one
some of those are bulletproof. Some of those are sugar glass. Good luck. Yeah.
You're gonna be the one to inspire Batman. All right. So you got to get this shit right, and he just fucking smacks the glass like, oh fuck.
He wasn't even awake or in the room at that time. He was just like across the house eating a sandwich.
You just see Alfred outside. He's just sweeping up the bat.
A director pops out and we're cut. Can we get another bat, please? Somebody's gonna have to write a letter to Peter. We're gonna have to explain this shit.
We're gonna explain this shit again. God damn it! What do we make this glass out of again? It's not soft enough.
Oh, that's great.
At all. So we get the first scene of Carrie, Carrie Kelly.
Yep.
And she's with her doofy looking friend whose name Michelle.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Michelle. I didn't mean to call you doofy looking. That was me.
Michelle, who never shows up again in any DC anything.
Yeah.
They're going to the carnival, and but that's not the place to be right now because there's a storm on the way, and I just realized that was fucking symbolic as hell.
Just now?
This particular storm in this moment, yes. I was like, okay, that shit, yeah.
Wow.
Well, now that you called her doofy looking, I hope they come out with Absolute Michelle. That's like the next book.
People are like, what the fuck is this?
It's like DC's version of Marvel, but it's just like Michelle's point of view the whole time,
POV,
talking about like, I wish my friend Terry was here.
Yeah.
We were supposed to go to the riots together.
She's always gone all the time now.
She watches the news, bat tank running over military.
Ever since she got this night job, she doesn't hang out with me.
Yeah. Robot looking Batman punches Superman. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm sold on Absolute Michelle.
The ending will be really good, I promise. It'll be a great ending.
I really think we should maybe, get a Carrie Kelly book.
Yeah, I agree.
And she can be in it, I guess. We can throw Michelle in.
It would be cool to have a Carrie book.
Yeah, I think the closest thing we're probably going to get is Dark Knight Strikes Again. She's definitely a central figure in that one. I'm sorry, not Strikes Again, Master Race. That one's actually good.
Okay.
I keep hearing that. I just can't force myself to.
You don't have to read Strikes Again to read Master Race.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Like literally, the way that it's written is like you can go straight from Dark Knight Returns.
Yeah.
To
I think I've read Master Race.
I think you may have.
I think I have. Yeah. Again,
I
from that awesome library. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I hear that it's quite good.
It is. That's mainly about like that glass city that Superman keeps, Kandor. He finally finds a way to enlarge them and make them regular size, and they're like
sounds dopey as hell now.
But
honey, I enlarged the city. Anyways, you were saying
they're like oh wow, this place is really cool. Hey, so that thing right there, that fucking yellow sun gives us superpowers, right? Okay, cool. How about this? We're the master race here, and fuck all you hoes. How about that? Oh yeah.
See, I always thought the book was about Batman becoming a PC gamer. You know?
God damn it, no.
You see Batman download Steam, username Batman.
Yeah.
Batman. What do you mean he's taken?
He's taken.
I am Batman.
The Dark Knight also taken.
God damn it.
I am vengeance. I am the night. Damn it!
Bruce Wayne accepted. God damn it!
Oh no, he goes to Batman 69. Taken. Damn it!
That was definitely taken.
Yeah.
That was
the
probably
second
taken
one.
before Batman. Yeah.
Oh shit.
Oh, fuck me.
I didn't want to skip over the scene here, and Caleb, I feel like you referenced this earlier. The scene where we get the cops that are chasing down what they've heard has been a Batman sighting. And there's the one kind of grizzled cop who's been on the force for some time. And then there's the new young rookie who's like, yeah, are you sure Batman's real? We're going to get the Batman. And like he's all kind of gung-ho. And, you got the grizzled cop who's like, this ain't what you think it's going to be, dog.
And I actually really love this scene because we got it 1-to-1 in Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah.
How it just, like I said, iconic this story is. You know, they lifted so many scenes directly from it for Rises where they could.
Yeah.
When the book is that good, you don't bother changing hardly anything about it.
Yeah.
And you copy paste it to the script.
And it was clearly an inspiration for that movie, even though they never came out and said Dark Knight Returns is an inspiration for the movie. Even though for Batman vs Superman they did, they were like very clearly we are making Dark Knight Returns. They weren't, but they. I would say they tried, but they didn't do that either.
Yeah, it's like you can't do. The only way that we're going to get a Dark Knight Returns is if we get a Dark Knight Returns. Like it really can't be tied or attached to anything else.
Well, I think the only way we're ever going to get a true a movie that has the cultural impact that the book did is if we can get a DCU that actually lasts that long. You know, if we can get somebody that's
in the words of Dr. Manhattan, nothing ever lasts.
Yeah.
well, but let's just imagine, okay, so let's just say that in Michael Keaton's era, we had cinematic universes, right? Mm-hmm. And they had a comparable Superman, and they were friends or whatever. You could make that movie today, but we didn't have that. So, I don't know, maybe when Ben Affleck is 85 or something.
Jesus.
Hollywood has zero interest in waiting for any kind of payoff.
Oh, I agree. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Or even building one in most cases.
Or building one.
Yeah.
They want meme of guy like money in hand now.
Yeah.
But I think at least though, if all of these characters could be thoroughly established on the big screen, like obviously all of these characters
Michelle.
Individually are like Michelle, absolute Michelle. all of these characters definitely are for the most part, but if you want to think about like the actual relationship between Batman and Superman, there is hardly none of that on the actual big screen. Like the DCEU is it, and they literally interacted for 20 minutes of screen time.
Yeah.
And most of that was a fight.
And that's the thing, like I was saying earlier, you can't start something where it's supposed to end,
Yeah.
And that's just the thing, right? I mean, the only way I ever see this happening is if they just make a separate. They're going to do something similar like what they did with the Batman, how the Batman is separate from the DCU. Years down the road, whenever they decide to, they're just going to have to make a separate Batman Returns movie, something that stands independent.
Yeah.
Robert's going to have to get jacked.
Well, I'm not saying it's Robert Pattinson. Like a whole different.
Like steroids and horse steroids jacked. Like, Jesus Christ.
Telling you, man, they're going to wait 10 years and they're going to do fucking Batfleck and what's Jared Leto's Joker.
Oh, gosh.
The Batman and Joker of the DCEU, who have never been on fucking screen together.
Right. Yeah.
There was the one
They haven't
scene.
they haven't been on set together.
Yeah.
They've been on screen together.
Jesus.
In the car chase.
I don't hate that, actually.
I wouldn't absolutely detest it, but if we're going to get this and we're only going to get it once, I don't want that. I don't want Jared Leto to play any comic book characters anymore, actually.
Not to be a stick in the mud, but unfortunately, I'm going to be that guy. And also not to be political, but I'm going to be that guy. This movie absolutely just could not exist, sadly, with the present DC, like, head executives who are in charge of, like, hey, we authorize these movies and stuff. Like, they just have a repeated offensive history of, nah, we want to do this movie. Nah, we're going to pull the plug on that. You know, oh, we were gonna do this movie. Nah.
They would definitely take down all the like parodying of like Reagan and like far right politics and shit.
Well, that too. But like, I feel like DC on like the live action movies shoots itself in the foot more often than not.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, we don't know.
Well, that's true. We don't know now. We don't know about James Gunn.
Sure, I'm talking about what we do know, which is from here in the past. You know?
Yeah, but I'm looking
for the most
forward,
part,
though. Like looking.
Sure,
forward.
we're being hopeful, and that's fine.
My concern now is actually not that the executives are going to step in, because I think what's his name?
Peter
Zaslav.
Safran and David Zaslav.
Well, I think David Zaslav has, from a creative standpoint, I think Safran and Gunn, they can do whatever they want from a creative standpoint. I don't think they're going to get any pushback from the studio on that. I really don't. Where I'm concerned now is the fucking budget, because if they will gouge House of the Dragon's budget, and like that's a huge moneymaker for them, they'll cut the DCU's budget.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the reason why the Cape Crusader was on Amazon.
Yeah.
They sold it off to Amazon because they didn't want to pay the budget to keep it.
And that's a fucking Batman property,
right?
Yeah.
And that speaks volumes, and so like you thought that they were done cutting shit back during the Batgirl debacle. No,
they just deleting shit straight up. Like, like we've come a long way from like them going to Warner Brothers and being like, hey, the Battle of Blackwater Bay could be way cooler if you guys give us like an extra $10 million, and they're like, make it cool. And now they're like, no, you got to push these battles to next season because we don't have the money.
And then they gave us what was clearly just a shortened season,
an hour-long trailer for the next season.
Yeah. Talking about House of the Dragon, folks.
Yeah. But it's relevant here because like that's my main concern with Warner Brothers these days.
You have to wonder how long is that gonna? Because they can't keep that up.
Right. I mean,
that's unsustainable for a business model.
Yeah, I mean, like CW, for instance, they came right out and when they were like, we're not interested in anything that costs more than like this amount of money.
Right.
That's why that the Walker, new Walker Texas Ranger with Padalecki,
cool.
they canned that shit. Not even because it wasn't getting good ratings. I mean, it wasn't getting great ratings, but it was getting good ratings for CW because he's in it. And I mean, he's basically one of two gods to the CW audience.
Right.
Wow.
So like there were people watching it just for him. He's obviously a draw for them, but they were like, yeah, if it costs more than X amount, we're not interested. Like, we're just gonna put a bunch of reality TV and shit on here. So,
why do you guys think they pulled the Batman Beyond project, but then decided to push forward with the Minecraft project?
Unfortunately,
that's one of the political decisions I'm kind of leaning towards as an example of my earlier statement, where I'm like, good decision making.
I don't think. Well, on that particular, like,
not to derail us further, but
I don't think they
derail
should.
us further.
I don't think they should make either of those things. Like, I think Batman Beyond is one of those things that not nearly as popular as, like, I think people think it is.
Okay.
Like, I think fans of Batman Beyond think it's way more popular than it actually is. But I think that fandom is a subset of the animated series fandom.
Well, that's fair, but also like to say the same could have been said for Miles Morales and those Spider-Verse movies, and that's the same studios that they would have gotten who wanted to make the Batman Beyond movie.
Yeah, I just I can't put Terry McGinnis on the same level with Miles Morales.
But to Kevin's point, I think the reason you can is because of the movies.
Yeah, I mean, and the video games too, right?
Okay,
right.
yeah.
I mean, there's both.
That's true.
And there is an element of that, and I'm not saying that it couldn't work. I just think that I don't think that it's as sure of a thing as they're looking for.
What I can definitely say is that because Batman Beyond is such an older IP compared to Miles Morales, it would primarily appeal to people in our age group who grew up with Batman Beyond. But it may be one of those cases where like people check out Miles Morales because it's got the Spider-Man name on it. That's what this is about. I think that Batman arguably has just as high, if not even higher cachet to his name value, that I think that people would turn out for Batman.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, we will never know.
Yeah.
But I also wasn't super excited about, Keaton playing old man Bruce in that either, so. Because if we were going to get that bullshit from The Flash for 90 minutes, I didn't want it for the last 90, so.
Goddamn. So I suppose
Speaking of old Batman.
I suppose that you would not want him as old man Batman in Dark Knight Returns either.
God, no. Can you see Keaton trying to do this dialogue?
Oh, no.
Nah, that's a good point.
And my opinion of Keaton since we reviewed The Flash has only dropped because I said it the other day. I said, I swear to God, if Beetlejuice 2 isn't the worst movie I watch in 2024, I'm going to be incredibly depressed.
Have you watched it yet?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, fucking absolute trash.
Wow.
Yeah.
God damn.
Yeah,
What were your thoughts?
I haven't seen it.
Oh, okay.
But there's no way it's worse than Madam Web, so I have to.
Oh, no.
I have to take it with a grain of salt.
No. Let me sip my Pepsi like. Nah.
There you go.
Like, I promise you, I would rather watch Madam Web. Like, there was at least a few moments in Madam Web that I kind of enjoyed.
Like,
and the rest of them, like, do you know how much fun we've had shitting on that movie this year?
Sure.
Like, Beetlejuice 2 was just awful, and it was very clearly like a who the fuck was this for? Like, at least some of the Spider Women were cool in that,
That's questionable, but continue.
But like I don't have any Beetlejuice 2 was awful.
So ever since stepping down from the podcast, I made a joke about this earlier, guys, but it's been kind of nice not having like the imagery earlier, wearing the Kevlar vest and going into the movie to being like, okay, I'm prepared for this to be great or a complete shit show that bombs and I have to like absorb the blow of, oh, this sucked. But stay in your seat, review it for the show, blah, blah, blah.
I didn't even have to go watch this one.
That's true.
Oh, that's funny. Wow.
I didn't say anything about doing Beetlejuice, but...
Oh, no, I meant Madam Web.
Oh,
is
yeah,
what I'm referring to. So I didn't have to watch it, so I didn't. But I'm kind of like, it's so bad, curiosity is peaked.
It's one of those
I'm waiting for it to hit streaming, but still.
I think it has.
Oh, it's been on streaming.
Really?
Yeah, because it tanked. It tanked so like almost immediately.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, like it I think at this point it might have been on streaming long enough that where like it's jumped like the streaming contract with whoever ran out and then now it's on whoever else.
It might be on Netflix at this point.
Jesus.
But I'll say this about Madam Web, and then we'll get back to something that's good.
About to open my other Pepsi, so it's perfect timing.
Perfect timing. But the thing about Madam Web is that Kevin, you might actually enjoy it in like a hilariously ironic type sense.
Right.
Oh, I was about to say like, God damn, I'm insulted. I thought you liked me here. But okay, ironic sense. I'll take that.
Yeah.
Because that's true.
It's like, and it's when the movie is trying to take itself seriously, which is most of it, that I'm like, this is just fucking ridiculous. But the only moments that just absolutely irritated the shit out of me is when they kept poking and prodding, reminding you, hey, you see that guy? He's Uncle Ben. He's Spider-Man's uncle. Hey, that's his sister. Her name is Mary Parker. Hey, she's gonna have a kid, and her kid's gonna be a boy. What do you think they're gonna name him? Who knows? And
this was Dora the Explorer shit.
And of course,
can you find the baby?
And they couldn't even get that shit right because her name shouldn't be Mary Parker.
Exactly. Her name should not be Mary Parker because I thought about that and I was like...
Well, if she's already married, then it could be, but then he shouldn't be fucking Ben Parker.
He shouldn't be Ben Parker. Yeah. I was like...
Unless it's the very odd scenario where their last name was already Parker and she married another dude named Parker.
Right. But we know...
So her name in the movie was Mary Parker.
Yeah. But they literally have a scene where she's like, they want to go around the room and guess what the baby's name is going to be.
And then they do it again because Madam Web has like the precog census, so you have to sit through that scene twice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody left that in the script and thought it'd be a good idea. Anyway, you can check out our review of Madam Web.
Good plug.
Yeah.
All right, but yeah, let's go back to something we like.
Something we like here. So Bruce Wayne is back as Batman now. He's kicking all kinds of ass. He does a lot in like one night.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah.
And he pays the price for it like the next day.
Yeah. You know, he picks up a full shift his first night back on the job.
Right. Yeah. But it's incredible as hell, and he inspires a young lady by the name of Carrie Kelly.
Woo.
She sees Batman and she's like, I want to do that.
She's my second favorite Robin.
She's great.
Yeah.
Nice. I really like Carrie, and I wish we could see her in more things. Unfortunately, she only exists within like this little pocket universe. Maybe it's for the best, because if she did exist in like canon DC, she'd be like super traumatized by now. You know, none of the Robins get off free. You know,
they really don't.
Well, I mean,
Dick was Dick got off. Cheap blow. But yeah, he seems to like have been the guy who came out the most on top.
That's true.
Have you read any of his comics? He definitely gets off.
Oh, I believe it. Starfire?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Barbara Gordon. Anyone with if you are a female with red hair, I suggest, well, unless you want to get your back blown out by Dick Grayson, then by all means. But if you don't, stay away from Dick Grayson.
Well, it seems to be a popular activity in the DC universe. If they ever do another like Marvel DC, crossover event, they should have all these iconic battles and shit.
Oh, he's gonna fuck Mary Jane.
Yeah,
that's gonna be
for sure.
Oh no.
Yep.
But where I was going with it is they have all these like pairing offs of these like iconic fights and shit, and then like Matt Murdock and Dick Grayson just have a who can fuck the most people contest.
Holy shit!
Dick Grayson comes up to the Black Widow.
Oh yeah. He's fucking. And the crazy thing about that is Matt is fuck Black Widow, and so at that point it's just like one-upsmanship.
Yeah.
I could just Natasha's gonna be like, so you started this contest with Matt, and Dick Grayson's gonna be like, he's fucking blind. How bad can it be? She's gonna be like, oh no, you got to get to work.
Yeah. He's behind on the scoreboard.
Yeah. Do you know where he is right now? No.
He's probably getting some pussy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh shit! I'm trying to think about what female character in Daredevil hasn't he fucked? And I'm like, that's a short list of people. Yeah, that's the right thing about it. Like Typhoid Mary, I'm pretty sure he fucked her.
Yeah.
Elektra, obviously. Karen Page, obviously.
Yeah.
He was married to another blonde girl, and I really wanted them to work out. It didn't, but obviously they fucked a lot. Oh, Echo, he fucked her. I mean, the list goes fucking on.
That's what I'm saying. That'd be the face-off between those two characters.
How did we get to Matt Murdock fuck list? What are we talking about?
I was about to say we
went from Carrie Kelly to Dick Grayson. Yeah. He said Dick Grayson got off.
Okay, yeah.
But I will also take us down the Carrie Kelly path of like, I think she got pretty traumatized in her own canon, because in the second book they had her in the Catwoman outfit.
They did. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what you said.
That's another reason that Strikes Again is Yeah, to cut that shit.
I recommend everyone listen. Get the Absolute because it's beautiful and because it looks good on the shelf.
It is true. It is true.
You don't have to read Strikes Again, but I do recommend you read The Master Race. That's all I can say about that. Doesn't the homie Joe like Strikes Again?
I hope not.
He said that.
We have to ask
several times.
Yeah.
Now, does that have all three of them in it?
This just has the two.
So do they have a Ultra Mega Omni that has them all in it?
Not yet.
They will.
They will eventually.
I'm gonna buy that shit when it comes out.
Yeah.
This looks dope.
Oh, it's incredibly dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, Carrie Kelly, she's got an upgrade.
And this came out like in the last couple of years, right? Something like that.
Like the last 8 to 10 years. Yeah.
So Frank Miller got the sauce still.
Oh yeah.
He didn't have it for a
he
while.
Didn't have it for a while, but then
he found it
back up. Yeah.
The cover is very Sin City though.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh yeah.
I was like, there's a lot of black and red on this bitch. Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. It was a really good book though, and like they did some things there that I won't spoil that I really thought were a cool twist.
Yeah. But I really love her Robin.
Yeah.
And she's voiced by, I didn't know this until today when I was looking at it, but she's voiced by Ariel Winter in the animated.
She was in what's the name of it? Modern Family.
Modern Family, but she was relatively, I think, unknown.
That's true.
Back when this came out, when it was recorded.
Yeah, she's one with them Tig Old Bees, right?
They're less Tig Old now, but well, she got them reduced.
Oh, I didn't know that.
They were that.
God.
I mean, they're still like.
Oh yeah. Okay. I was like, I don't know which one that is. Yeah. But,
yeah.
I know of Modern Family, but. Yeah.
Now do the same thing. But Google Area Windows Tig Old Biggie.
Oh God. I'm sure there's a subreddit.
Right.
Oh shit. Okay. We can go 5 minutes without talking about sex or titties.
That's not true.
Or dick and nips.
Rewind the tape.
Yeah.
Watch the tape.
They're like clockwork. Every 5 minutes on the clock. They always.
Put a timer there. No, I'm joking.
Also, for the Mutant Leader, we did consider the metallic flavor of Dick and Nips, but it just didn't catch on the focus groups. It just didn't catch on.
Damn it.
So we're reworking that flavor of Dick and Nips.
It kind of tasted like pennies.
They didn't like
gosh. Yeah.
Let's talk about the Mutant Leader here because he is like the big bad of Act 1.
All right, it's not even 5 minutes. You mean the guy who has the hardest nipples?
Yes.
Yep. There you go.
He's. I mean.
Well, is it that, or are they just incredibly sensitive to the point where you have to have metal shields over them?
Metal pasties? Yeah, there you go.
Oh, so Bruce Wayne fucked up. Like, that was his weakness.
Yeah.
He should have just been like, bang, bang.
My nipples!
Okay, I can't laugh this close to the table. I was about to pop my knee.
And he's just freaking the fuck out. And Batman's like, Jesus Christ.
I know, right? I am the surgeon. You need these fixed.
The fuck is going on with your nipples? For those of you who don't know, the Mutant Leader has extraordinarily pronounced
I
metal
really
nipples.
wish we had a third tech guy who could pop up the images of what we're talking about. Because it's worth looking up. Mutant Leader, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Mutant Leader nipples.
Mutant Leader nipples, yeah.
Maybe emphasize this Batman story.
I probably could do it. I don't know if I want to, though. But yeah, he's got some pronounced ass nipples.
This dude was terrifying, though.
He
is. Yeah, I mean, yeah, they are.
Yeah, I mean.
And then I was joking with Q about this, but this guy was so dedicated to the bit that he filed down his teeth to where they are all sharp like canines, like a shark's teeth in a human mouth. He took a file to do that.
Yeah.
That shit makes me shiver thinking about it too much. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it made the mayor shiver, too.
Yeah. Yeah.
He killed that motherfucker in like 30 seconds.
Yeah. Man. And like, I hate to say that someone deserves to die, because that's just mean. But the mayor kind of had it coming.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
The first time that Bruce and the Mutant Leader fight, it's a good fight, but man, Frank Miller does a great job of leaving you wondering how the hell does Bruce beat this guy. Yeah.
This was another thing that, where Dark Knight Rises really referenced this, and and of course Nightfall as well. But that fight with Bane kind of goes the same way.
But Bane's nipples weren't nearly as pronounced.
They were not.
This is true. Even after Venom. Yeah.
Yeah, and he actually walked away from that fight a lot better than the Mutant Leader did on this one.
That's true. Yeah. What I do like about this fight, though, is that, like, even though it's fucking grimy and it's, especially like watching the animated movie, you can just feel the blows.
Yeah.
And it's painful. Both men are fucking beat to hell, bruised and battered. Bruce is worse off though than the Mutant Leader, but it's enough because the Mutant Leader is taken to jail. If Carrie wasn't there, then
no,
Bruce doesn't walk away.
It's over. Yeah,
exactly.
And we're making the comparisons to Rises again. There's the line that Alfred drops when he's going to get out of the bat tank, and he says, he's in his prime. He'll kill you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And that definitely was inspiration for Alfred in Rises as well.
Yeah, Bruce like, I can take this fucking guy. It's fucking Bang. I don't give a fuck.
Right.
Bruce was like, Alfred, on the back computer, what's that shit say about Bane? Well, so it says, I don't give a fuck, Alfred.
Ain't nobody fucking ask you. Well, so you actually just...
Yeah, right. It's funny, you bring up the moment where Batman is stepping out of the tank after the conversation with Alfred, and like Alfred's warnings and everything. One thing, there's a lot of pros to watching the movie and gaining the story through that medium. However, there's pros and cons to both the movie and the graphic novel. One of the pros of the graphic novel, you were talking about this, brother, is that there's text boxes that you get that the movie can expound upon because there's no organic way to put in random thoughts, random monologues. We get in the pages a really cool moment where he's talking to Dick. He's like engaging Robin, saying, "Hey, we've never faced anything like this. We faced humans. This is a monster." Talking about the Mutant Leader and like admitting privately between him and his psyche, I guess, of Dick Grayson in this moment, like, I'm a little shook. Oh well, my muscles say we got to do it, So.
And the other great thing about that moment is that I think this is when Bruce kind of begins to think, I really wish I had a Robin here right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If Dick Grayson had been here, this shit wouldn't have gone down like this.
Yeah.
Thankfully, Carrie was here.
Yeah.
And Bruce is alive because of that.
She had to drag his big ass.
Yeah, right? Impossibly so. Like, she must be 80 soaking wet.
Oh, yeah.
Come on.
It's your first...
I would hate for any of us to have to drag that big ass dude.
No, fuck that.
It's your
I
first
can drag
time
it on
job as Robin, and you got to carry this motherfucker that weighs like 6 times you uphill in the mud.
It's part of your training.
Motherfucker's gonna bleed out.
See, I'd have went and got the tank.
Right.
And brought the tank over there.
Yeah, I would have like tied a winch around him and just
yeah. You know, there's got one on there.
Right.
The whole time I'm looking at this shit for the first time, I'm like, this motherfucker got a bat tank.
Yeah.
And then later on, he's like, no, this is just the Batmobile. So, like, I guess in this version, like, this is just a regular ass Batmobile.
Right. It's his everyday car. Yeah.
It's like,
it's
his
driving
that shit around.
Yeah.
Bro, it's so fucking enormous.
Yeah.
What do you drive this at?
Like, we get the scene where, like, he's driving it down the road and, like, a fucking car comes up on it and it looks like it's barely the size of one of the tires.
How much gas that thing take?
Bro.
Gas, this thing takes plutonium.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, the shit that powers nuclear submarines?
Yeah.
That's what I use.
Yeah. Because otherwise, I mean, I don't know if Bruce Wayne can even afford to drive that
Right.
shit.
Yeah, no.
If you got to put diesel in that shit?
Oh, hell. Shit. Maybe with 80s prices on diesel. Today's prices on diesel, there's no way.
You drain that bank account real fast.
All right. By the way, I assume, and I could be wrong with this, but I assume that this story takes place in 86. That we just have a Bruce Wayne who has aged naturally over the years.
Yeah. That tracks to me.
The future or whatever that this takes place in is so weird.
It very much is.
But I do like how he kind of created, like, this feature has its own like slang and everything. That's a really nice touch on it.
It is
because he didn't have to do that shit.
And again, like I also really like the social commentary satire that's going on all throughout in the background.
Oh, absolutely.
And it's like that shit is funny today,
right?
You know?
Yeah.
And it's just really really cool how that happens. But the reason I bring up like the day is because I think I figured out damn near the exact day that some of this takes place on.
Huh. Do tell.
I was able to do this by extrapolating information, you see.
No, hey, don't you dare.
It was during the Two-Face segment when Batman is talking to Jim Gordon, and they're trying to figure out where he's going to be and what Two-Face is going to do. And they say, well, tomorrow is the 2nd and it's Tuesday, so we know that he's going to do something. It's Two-Face. And so I was like, what month had a 2nd on a Tuesday in 1986? And it is September. December also had a 2nd, but they talk about the heat wave going on in Gotham, so it had to have been September. Also, there's a 3-month time jump in this book, and it is winter.
Oh, well.
So, had to have been September. You only get that kind of stuff here, folks.
That's science.
Science.
And math.
Called Detective Comics for a reason, I suppose.
You're one of those.
There you go.
Yeah.
Go to bed.
My bed is so far from
It's so far from I do want to talk really quickly about the second fight between the mutant leader, because this fight, not only is the fight itself really cool and gruesome, but like the setup is too, because the mutant leader is in jail.
Right. Yeah.
And Commissioner Gordon is literally at this point hours away from stepping down as commissioner. And he does Batman one final favor before he steps away, and that is releasing the mutant leader. And the mutant leader is released and led to this mud pit area. Then that's where Batman fights him at. And like the reason that's so cool to me is because Batman had to prove it to himself that I can beat this motherfucker.
Yeah.
Here it is. Okay, I just found it in the pages, like where he's like walks up, has a short phrasing conversation, walks away, gates open.
Yep. Gates open. And mutant leader, he's led out, and I do love that Batman sucker punches the shit out of him to start the fight. You know.
Yeah.
But throughout this, you do get to read Bruce's inner dialogue here, and it's part of it here that I really dig. And he says, my mistake was to try to match his savagery, to fight like a young man. But so he realized that was his mistake here, and he was like, okay, I can't fight his guy, I can't match his strength, I can't match his savagery, but he's fucking dumb, and I'm smart. You know?
Yeah, that's true, yeah. And actually, that's one thing the movie does really well.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, look, panels where you imagine the fight, a movie where the fight happens automatically. Whoa. But it's like in the movie, you see him like fighting, like you said, so smart, like a cut over the eyes, blood keeps blinding him. Oh, like a jackknife punch here, you know, some cool stuff,
Also, it's an incredibly villainous thing to like explain the fight to someone while you fight them. But like Batman can get away with it.
Yeah, it is a dope ass thing. Yeah.
It's like, see, I cut you right there above the eyes because that cut will bleed. That's no one else can say that shit and still get like the Paragon points.
Yeah.
You know, that's renegade shit.
Ironically enough, like that shit happens a lot in like in UFC. Like guys will intentionally try to cut, and also in boxing, they try to cut you right above here so you can't see.
Yeah.
It's dirty, but hey, they're in the mud pit, so you're supposed to get dirty.
Shit's effective. Yeah. Ain't no rules in this fight.
Ain't no rules in this shit. And also, like the mutant leader has fucking fangs and sharp teeth and shit.
Yeah,
biting folks.
The line he drops here is so sick. Where he's just
so
like,
good.
Where he's like, this isn't this isn't a mud pit.
hole.
It's an operating table, and I'm the surgeon.
And I'm the surgeon.
So cool.
God,
Just the sunglasses need to fall down on him.
Right.
That exact moment, you know.
The Who in the background.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's also important to mention what the fuck he's doing as he's saying this. So he kills the nerve endings in like the mutant's left arm. And then he arm bars and breaks the right arm.
Yep.
And then he's like, even in the internal dialogue, what does he say here? He says, something tells me to stop with the leg. I don't listen to it. And so he breaks his leg and he keeps going.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like...
He's like, oh, look at that. I had some savagery after all. Yeah. Literally the next scene thereafter, the mutants are like painting on the bat mask and they're like showed in the news and stuff. So...
I think I'll vote for this guy now.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, new team lead.
And, we never really exactly find out what becomes of the mutant leader. I assume he's just a cripple.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. If he like ultimately survived this shit, because he might have drowned in that fucking mud.
Right.
He definitely wasn't getting out on his own.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good point. Like, did any of his boys like eventually come and try to get him out of there?
Sure.
There's probably one or two that were still loyal. You know, there's always one or two.
But
I can guarantee you guys, neither of them had freaking medical degrees, so they're probably dragging him. He's like, "Oh, stop!" Yeah.
What the fuck is up with Rob and Don? Wearing the big ass shirts with their names on.
That was low key pretty great.
Yeah.
I think we should do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rob Don. That's the cosplay for next year.
Oh yeah, that's true.
There
That's
you
an
go.
easy one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say red shirts with our names on it.
Me and you could do the Rob and Don team leader.
Yeah. We need to understand.
I gotta get the nipples.
Yeah.
Would they let me wear those at Dragon Con? I mean,
hell yeah.
Oh, bro.
I mean,
Dragon Con?
I'm just saying, like, they could be weapons, though.
You gotta file them down a little bit. They can't be sharp.
Homie Nation, help us out. Send in your votes.
Yeah, you guys.
Do you want Q to be the mutant leader?
You guys got him in the Bowser outfit, which was 11 out of 10. Possibly the greatest moment of my life.
Do it again.
Do it again.
Do it again.
So yeah, mutant leader's dead or whatever, and
good shit.
He's off the board.
All right, edit mark at minute 46 minutes.
You said a minute?
Oh shit, hour.
Oh.
Yeah, we won't be at this for about a minute, right?
Yeah. Time flies.
Anyways, we move on here. Let's kind of fast track some of this stuff here now.
Yeah.
So we get some information here about Superman and his going-ons, and for a while, the knock that some people have had on this book is that Frank Miller doesn't like Superman because of the way that he's portrayed, and for a while, I've agreed with that assessment. And over the years, I've grown to really appreciate Superman a lot more, reading a lot more of his stories and finding a lot more value in this character. But even with that, I don't think that Frank Miller wrote Superman to be a dislikable character here. I think it's just that we get to see everything from Bruce's POV. And so it's so easy
right. Honestly, I was about to say something very similar, like a different road through the woods, but we're getting to the same point in that this isn't a Superman story.
Yeah.
Who gives a fuck?
Right.
Like you said, it's Batman's POV. This is a Batman story. So, Superman is what he needed to be in the story for the development, for Batman's story.
Yeah, this shit's not called Superman Returns. That happened way later. Here's the thing though, is
I love this stupid image.
The fucking
eagle landing
on him.
I love
it.
Oh, so stupid. So awesome. Yeah.
It's just the most
looks like some
pompous
Casablanca bullshit.
Fucking just America fuck yeah ever.
And he looks like a Disney hero here.
He does.
Like Prince Eric, but with an eagle.
And he but if you look at it though, this is like the natural evolution of like if they disbanded the Justice League, like if because in this world they kind of have like whatever the like a DC equivalent of like the Registration Act essentially.
Yeah.
And it's basically like all these guys have to retire. They hang it up for the Justice League or whatever. I mean, Superman kind of ending up as a kind of a government patsy isn't really that far-fetched, folks. I mean, this motherfucker's, slogan was like truth, justice, and the American way or whatever, back then. So, yeah, I mean, if you want to look at what Superman was portrayed at during this time, I mean, this is not that far off. Yeah, you look at it now and you're like, oh, that's some silly bullshit. But, like, it's not, that doesn't mean that it's inaccurate,
Right.
This is a Superman who thought he was being a good guy, a superhero, listening to Ronald Reagan.
Yeah, right, yeah.
But it's crazy though, right? Because you have to wonder was this an unpopular decision in '86? Because the way that we as millennials view Ronald Reagan is, I think, pretty different from like how maybe half the country viewed Ronald Reagan.
When was the book published? Yeah,
86.
Well, when in 86?
Oh,
Which month? Yeah.
But the guy who voices the mutant leader is in Boondocks, and as the Boondocks will tell you, Ronald Reagan is the devil.
Wait, who's he voicing Boondocks? Yeah, please look that up. I'm curious to know.
Gary Anthony Williams.
Good call out, by the way. Boondocks hilarious show.
That guy, he's been in like kind of everything.
Oh yeah, he's been in a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm not. That's your fault.
That's even better. He's Uncle Ruckus.
Oh my gosh! Really?
Oh,
yeah. No
Uncle
relation.
Ruckus
No.
was the mutant leader. No relation.
No relation. Yeah.
A little relation.
Wow.
No relation.
Jesus.
Only here on the Super Heroes podcast.
I'm having a great time.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
I still got a bunch of alcohol left from Dragon Con. I should have brought it.
Right? Oh my gosh. I would have loved that, yeah.
Kevin asked this question when we were watching the movie earlier. I asked you, what do you think Bruce Wayne's drink of choice is?
Oh, yeah. Good for calling out that.
Yeah. I think that he's a Scotch.
I was going to say that he's a Scotch guy. Because, like, if you're going to drink the most expensive shit imaginable, I'm pretty sure that Scotch is like I think when like the other alcohols cap out, I think Scotch continues to
right, yeah.
Because like Harvey Specter drinks Macallan 18, and I rarely can even find that shit anymore.
Right,
like everybody.
It's like remember in Secret Invasion they're drinking the Pappy Van Winkle.
Yeah,
like that. Have you seen how much that shit costs?
Yeah, I really wanted that shit to be poisoned. I wanted it to be poisoned so bad because they spend like 10 minutes of Nick Fury convincing them that it's not fucking poison. I wanted him to just drink that shit and keel over and die.
Oh man, I just assumed that it's dark. Oddly enough, the scene earlier in the book when he's drinking a lot,
dark red.
Yeah.
That was a good answer, by the way. Scotch. Yeah.
That was lifted and put in I think BVS, or was it Snyder Cut?
That's comical.
Yeah. It was the scene
of all the things to pull from the pages.
Yeah, no, I mean I think I've always dug it because it shows.
Well, no, it's cool, but it's like you could have pulled more from the pages.
I'm trying to remember Batfleck drinking.
Yeah, because Alfred actually he says like the same line that he says in the book, where it's like, well, hopefully if there's more heirs to the Wayne name, they'll have more to inherit than an empty wine cellar.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he definitely seems like a. I could totally see him being a wine type of guy.
Yeah.
Because that is a lot easier to fake.
Yeah.
Like you can always just put some fucking grape juice in a glass, and
true.
And unless nobody's gonna be going around like, oh, what do you got in your cup? Right. So like that's a way for you to. For him to keep a cool head and still drink at the party and look like he's
got an apple juice on the rocks to fake some scotch.
Yeah, and he's just acting fucked up.
Yeah.
According to Commissioner Gordon, it was ginger ale that he used to do to pretend it was.
Oh right, yeah.
That's smart actually. Neato.
But yeah, the Superman stuff here in this book, I think that if you were to view, if we got like this exact same story from Superman's POV, I think that Superman definitely looks in better light. You know, he doesn't. And even like the pumping, I wouldn't be surprised if an eagle didn't really land on his arm. I wouldn't be surprised if Bruce is like, this motherfucker.
Right. Right.
Yeah, if this story was written from Superman's POV, he'd be like, and then I put my leg up on the rock, and an eagle landed directly on my arm. Anyway,
I had a stern talking with Bruce.
Yeah.
Now, from Superman's POV, it'd be like, hey, man, Bruce, like, I'm worried about you, man. We should be talking. Bruce said, fuck you, Clark.
Watch me ride this horse better than you.
So what I'm getting at is, we may never know exactly what happened between these two.
I love their talk here.
Yeah.
Because all of it's just between the lines.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, it's between the lines, and it's like we both know what could happen, but damn it, man, I don't want this to happen.
Yeah.
A lesser writer would have had Superman come here and exposit on everything.
Yeah.
He would have had him be like, hey, well, you know, you hung it up because Jason Todd got beat to death by the Joker with a crowbar.
Right.
And then, and then they made Diana go back to her people because this and this and this and this. And then, this just would have been this long, rambling thing. But they talked like they would have talked here.
Yeah.
And that's so important from a enjoyment of the story, because even though we don't know a lot of the little finer details of what they're referencing,
Right.
you can get the gist of it from what they're saying.
Yeah.
It was a real conversation.
Right. It's
if you and I sat in a room and had a real conversation without the pretense of cameras or someone writing it out for us. It's not like it didn't feel scripted at all.
Right.
Yeah. So fucking good.
Yeah, the dialogue was tremendous.
And that's why I can't stand so many TV shows.
Yeah.
I will say this should have definitely been in the goddamn movie.
Huh.
Just these two panelists right here.
Jesus, no, not that one.
Carrie Kelly checking out this ugly ass Dollatron, and then it's just
what's the guy's name that makes the dolls?
Toy Man.
Yeah, I just saw him.
Well, they call him by his real name in the book
Abner.
here.
Is it Abner?
No, that's a ventriloquist.
Oh, okay.
What is his real fucking name? Because like you talking about the egg shaped guy, right?
Yeah. Like here he is,
the one
but
who's
there's
always
no
doing
name.
Joker's dirty work or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think they call him by his name like one time, right?
I think so, but I'm not seeing it here yet. I only saw him once, and that was when he visited like the rehab center originally, and now I don't see him again.
God damn it!
Yeah, I'm not 100% on it, to be honest.
I'm gonna keep looking. You guys keep doing the things as we filibuster. Blah 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 blah.
Okay, yeah. They call him Winslow in the book here because Winslow I think is his first name. But yeah,
cool.
Yeah, he's a portly looking fellow, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, he makes some incredible looking dolls, you know, super lifelike. But yeah, anywho, just as the story moves along here, news of the Batman is spreading like wildfire, you know.
Yeah.
And that has caused a lot of controversy, and I love that we see different people's take on the Batman. How some people think that this is a great thing, crime rate is dropping, and things are changing now, and criminals are afraid again. But on the flip side, there are people who don't like it because of what he could potentially inspire and things of that nature.
And the only difference in today's world is that it would have been two separate news channels instead of them having both.
Right,
instead of them having both opinions on the one channel, there'd be one channel where it was like, yeah, Batman's back and he's solving all these crimes, and the other channel would have been, the fucking psychiatrist or whatever.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
That channel would only have white people on it. I'm randomly going to drop that. I'm just going to randomly throw that out there for now.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure it's completely...
It's arbitrary.
Yeah. Right.
No direct real world comparisons here. We're just spitballing.
Or maybe they'll find the one who's like, see, this person agrees. You know?
Yeah.
You know, that's their favorite thing to do.
Yeah.
Yep.
Once again, all arbitrary.
All arbitrary, of course. Yeah. No real life 1-to-1 comparisons there.
No.
But this also awakens something within the Joker. Because Kevin, like you said earlier, it's like his fucking Winter Soldier sleeper code was activated.
Foxtrot 16. Cap. What was the last one?
Boxcar is one of them.
Homecoming.
Caboose. I think something with a train car was a part of it.
Train car is part of it.
Is one.
Oh, yeah. Well, bullet. See? Yeah. Excuse me, guys. I gotta go do something.
Oh, shit. And then the last one's Batman for Joker.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Batman said a few repeated times. Yeah.
Right. You know, fuck, that's crazy, man. Just think about how long ago this book was created. Harley wasn't even a thing yet.
Nope.
You know?
Yeah.
And so I was about to say, he wouldn't even give a shit if Harley was there. But I was like, there was no Harley.
Yeah. Todd Phillips probably doesn't know that. But.
Right.
Oh, I can't wait for that movie. But yeah, Joker's back. And Dr. Walper, our favorite psychiatrist,
Jesus.
he's like, you know what? I kind of sort of struck out with Two-Face, but that was all Batman's fault.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to take this guy on what is clearly not meant to be David Letterman.
Yeah.
It's like a 1-to-1 comparison.
Bruh.
The guy's name is even David.
It
They just
is.
changed
Yeah,
it.
just the last name. Yeah. Yeah, that is true. That's kind of crazy.
And
And he died.
And his assistant guy is clearly supposed to be Paul or whatever his name was.
Oh, fucking hell.
Whatever that, I can't remember that guy's name.
I don't know.
His last name. Not Paul Schaefer.
No.
No.
Yeah, whatever. I don't remember.
Well,
Yeah.
whatever his name
His
is.
name is fucking Paul.
Paul. Yeah. His name was Robert Paulson.
Yeah, you beat me to it.
But this is clearly meant to be David Letterman, and that did exist in '86.
It did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that motherfucker's been around forever.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, I don't know why anyone would approve the Joker to be... But then I think about it, I'm like, okay, let's say that someone like Dahmer was still alive.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And he'd just been chilling in prison past 10 years. Quiet. Radio silence from him. I can see a world where they...
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah. Easily.
Yeah.
What's the chick that killed her mom? This
Hulu. You talking about?
Oh,
Like did she have the show on Hulu?
yeah.
Gypsy Rose?
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
like you look at her like celebrity status when she got out of prison or whatever. I mean, even to like right now. I mean, she committed a fucking heinous ass crime.
Yeah.
Did she have reason to do it?
Yeah.
Sure, but
Yeah.
she
She
still
still-
fucking killed someone or
Right.
arranged for them to be killed.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
Exactly.
and is only out of jail because she threw the other motherfucker way under the bus.
Yeah. He got drug addicted.
He got thrown under the Frank Miller Batmobile.
Oh, fuck.
God damn.
Shit. He's still underneath it then, because
Yeah.
that motherfucker's big as hell.
Yeah. And you get it because it's justice, you know? Justice.
Yeah.
And so,
All right.
Wow.
So you had me there until the end. All right.
no, Batman drives
Oh, okay,
it,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
and
uh-huh.
he's justice.
So moving
And the
on.
justice system.
Oh, boy.
Welcome back to the show,
I'm not sure if the show missed me, but sure, boy, do I sure miss it. Yeah.
Kevin. He misses you, for
Yeah.
sure. He has to deal with me all the time now.
Yeah.
But
Well, someone
not,
had to take over the angry energy, you know.
you know,
That's
not having you both in together, I'm like, maybe I should just close the door.
He's like, yeah, I mean, probably.
500 episodes, this is a good run.
The problem with that, though, is that you'll eventually have your own Dark Knight Returns, and that's going to be when we come back in too.
Oh, I need to know, which one of y'all is Ollie and which one of y'all is Superman then?
Neither.
Yeah. I
Okay,
like both my arms.
Which one of y'all is Carrie?
We'll rock, paper, scissors for that, I guess.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
We're both, I mean, you know.
One of us has to be the antithesis sometimes, so one of us has to be Joker sometimes.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh,
fucking
that's true,
hell.
yeah.
Or I could use Commissioner Gordon.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
I'd much rather be Gordon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, what about an Alfred? I need an Alfred.
I could be Alfred.
Okay.
If you'll be a Gordon.
You're too young. You're the youngest
That's
person
true.
here.
All right, technicalities.
Trying to give me some sagely advice. I'm like, I was there when you heard
I'm
that.
sage as fuck, boy. Yeah. And actually, in my defense, you didn't know that.
I didn't.
Yeah.
This is a very recent discovery.
Yeah.
folks.
Yeah. Hilarious.
Oh shit.
It didn't make the Dragon Con review, but it did happen.
Yeah, it did happen. Oh man. Well, Joker's back. He goes on not David Letterman. and I
David
love
Post.
I love that the first thing he does is he breaks a ceramic coffee mug and slices the throat of that goddamn psychiatrist.
Yep.
And the thing about it too is crazy is like they cheer the Joker when he comes out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I even made a joke with Kevin, like when people were cheering, and I was imitating like somebody in the crowd, like, yeah, that guy killed my whole family 12 years ago. Yeah.
In like 40 years, they're gonna have P Diddy on a talk show. And
For sure.
And we're gonna see if they cheer when he comes out, and we're gonna be like, look, see?
Yeah.
If he does the dance, absolutely, people would cheer.
Damn it.
100% people are gonna cheer that.
Jesus.
But yeah, so the shit with Joker here is pretty fucking intense because, like we said earlier, it's kind of evident that he wants like one big last hurrah, especially when he gets hit in the face. Batman hits this motherfucker everywhere with these batarangs.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I love the shit with the mug though, like you were talking about.
Yeah.
I like how he's like, do the guests get to keep these?
Yeah. Right.
And then after he slices his fucking throat, he's like, well, as long as you won't miss it.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
I also love the scene where everyone's trying to claw their way out.
Yeah.
And,
That was gruesome.
And the David Poster Man is he's just like he's trying to hold his breath or whatever, and that fucking creepy ass scene where he's just like, breathe, David.
Right.
Fucking.
Because what do you do at that point? I mean, you got no option.
No. You accept that slow, painful death.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's one thing the movie did so well. That whole scene was just gruesome to watch. Yeah.
I mean, Michael Emerson chews the scenery from the moment that the character wakes up. You kind of like forget about everything else as soon as the Joker shows up.
Right. Yeah. So the Joker, he does flee to a theme park with Toyman and his creepy ass dolls.
Yeah.
And it's there that they begin to. I wonder, like, if Batman didn't show up there, was Joker just gonna, just keep handing out candy and shit?
Probably. Well,
no. They were gonna have the kids, the dolls, fucking like kill all those people.
Yeah.
That's. I wonder because like they sent the dolls up to kill the people when Batman showed up.
Yeah.
Like they just kind of stalled there.
Well,
the time.
I feel like young Joker would have had the cotton candy laced with something, and like that would have been like a cool backup plan. But he's like, oh no, Batman showed up. Never mind.
Well, Joker intentionally left the cotton candy in Selina's apartment,
Right.
to draw Batman. He knew Batman was
Exactly.
going to come.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And that shit worked.
Yeah.
Batman arrived, and goddamn, yeah, Joker killed so many people.
Oh, yeah.
Selina Kyle is lucky as fuck to be alive because
Oh, yeah.
I for sure thought Joker was going to kill her.
Yeah.
But him putting her in the fucking Wonder Woman costume or whatever just to fuck with Batman,
Batman was
tremendous.
It was great, right? And then and Joker knew that wasn't gonna work, but he left the lipstick on her, so if they had a moment, which they did have a moment, then maybe
Yeah.
But Joker also knew that shit wasn't gonna work.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this whole amusement park scene is incredible to me. There's Toyman getting decapitated. Good times for him.
I mean,
Yeah. Right.
Jack Nicholson had to have pulled inspiration for the '89 Joker from
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. Like some of the way that Nicholson delivers some of those lines does remind me a lot of this.
Yeah, and not to mention, like, they do the whole gas thing with the parade and all that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. That's true.
A lot of that, imagery, you could pull it right from.
That's true.
Oh yeah. Easily. Yeah.
But now, like, when you read this or watch it, you think about it in the other direction.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But it's crazy to think, you know, once again, there was no animated series then. There was no Batman 89 then. So,
right.
Like, Mark Hamill also, you know, drew some inspiration from this, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
Because you know that motherfucker read the comics.
Oh,
yeah.
sure.
Oh, yeah.
For sure.
Hands down.
What you guys think about, like, the Joker's ending here?
I love it.
Same. I can only imagine, like, the mental depravity one would require to snap their own neck.
Right.
Like, what? How the fuck force does that require? Right. Regardless of, oh, my body's telling me I shouldn't do this. You know?
I mean, Heath Ledger's Joker, while very much its own thing, like, you could totally see that version of the Joker doing something like this.
Yep.
Because his one thing, like, once he finds out that Batman's got this no-killing rule, his, like, sole purpose is to see, can I push him? Yeah. Can I make him do it? You know? And you could totally see that inspiration from him right here. Because, like, in these final panels, man, the Joker is just completely batshit insane. Like, he's full tilt, you know?
And I just want to take this moment to say this, right? There's a lot of there's a lot of different groups and people who feel like, yeah, that's why the Joker wouldn't survive if he was in Punisher's role gallery, if he was in this character's role gallery. And I'm like, he'd be fine because he doesn't play.
Because he can adapt.
Yeah, he adapts. Yeah, he adapts to what you are. So, like, if he finds you amusing, that's good for you. If he does not find you amusing, that's very bad for you.
I mean, as long as he wasn't in, like, Homelander's Road Gallery.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
Fucking
yeah.
Because he'd show up with that laugh and shit, and Homelander would laser him in half. He'd be like, that guy, right?
Yeah. Well, if he's in another villain's role gallery, then that's different.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Well, I'm trying to think if there's a superhero that would just be done with him. But there really isn't, right? Because, like, kind of you gave the Punisher as an example. But, like, you know, I guess if he was Black Adam's the villain, despite the movie. Yeah. But if he was in that rogue gallery, he's fucked.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe like a fresh black suit Spider-Man who's like, no, I'm fed up with this. I'm done with this.
Oh, yeah, no.
Yeah, like a black suit Spider-Man.
Can you imagine the shit that the fucking Joker would put Peter Parker through?
Oh, my gosh. I would read that. It'd be horrible.
I just think about, you know, like, the Green Goblin got Peter, like, the lowest of the lows. Mm-hmm. Joker's gonna...
right?
No, yeah.
Yeah, like...
Break through the bottom of the barrel, yeah.
As soon as Joker finds out, oh, he killed how many of your girlfriends? Well, I can top that.
Today.
He just dropped her off a fucking building. I can definitely do better than that. That's not even creative.
You got a sidekick? Not anymore.
Holy shit. But I was going to say the twisted thing about what Joker did here.
Oh,
is that it makes Batman look like the murderer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
And that fucking last chilling ass line, he drops and they're going to kill you for it. Just fucking, Gives me chills every time.
Yeah. Yeah, that shit is rough. Like, it's sick. It's sick. But I love it, though.
Oh, yeah.
The getaway is also incredible as well.
Yeah.
Because, like, he barely gets away.
That fucking scene where, after, like, his body ignites or whatever.
Oh, the skull on fire?
And he's just like, quit laughing at me.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. Yeah, that shit was awesome. Let's see if I can find that real quick.
Because you can tell also that...
page 157.
Like, the moment that Batman goes...
Nope, I lied. You don't. Oh, one page over. Cool.
The moment that Batman goes and sits down beside him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get this moment where it's just like... Yeah, Batman blames himself for not doing this sooner, right? Because he's finally gotten to the conclusion that, like, you know what? I really shouldn't kill anyone, but if I'm going to make an exception, motherfucker, like, it's you, you know? He's just like, every last one of them that you killed after, like, the first one, those are on me, you know?
Yeah.
And you also get this sense, like, now that the Joker is truly gone, it's like Batman kind of lost a bit of his purpose also at this moment.
Because those two have been so tied for, at this point, decades, and so I mean, to have that part of you be gone, partly relief, sure, but part of it is like, I ain't got a job no more,
I mean, Joker openly admitted, like, oh, no, I can't kill you. You're too much fun.
Yeah.
But, like, this is essential to Bruce as well. Mm-hmm. And that's the thing. Is like, he wouldn't admit that to himself. Because then all those people's deaths really are on his hands.
Right.
One comment I think I shared while we were watching the movie, it's really interesting that Frank decided to write this quiet and quick moment into the story. It really showcases, one, like the level of leniency these two had with each other because they needed each other to a degree. Like, they balanced and tied and constantly combated, gave each other purpose. But then in this moment, it really showcases, like, Batman's psyche and how, Joker was a super broken up dude. So was Batman.
Yeah.
Even in this moment, he's like, stop laughing.
Yeah.
And all he is a flaming skull.
Flaming skull,
Yeah. But he's eternally laughing in that position, even in cremation. Yeah.
And you got to know, like, Bruce hears that laugh all the time.
Oh, my gosh, yeah. Like, I can't remember which page it was. Again, more text boxes we missed in the movie, but it's like the nights I've spent without sleep, dreaming, theoretically having all these ideas of how I can do it. I can fix you with my hands.
Yeah.
Great moment. And in fact, they made it a line in the movie. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
there's nothing about Joker I can't fix with my hands.
Joker's like, say what?
Joker's like, what you talking about? What you throwing that batarang for?
Oh, my fucking eye.
that moment just, are you fucking crazy?
Yeah,
so
that
good.
was awesome.
So good.
So good.
When the Joker says that to you.
Yeah.
He's like, I thought we were just fucking around here.
Right. Like, we ain't gonna warm up or nothing. We're
going straight to this? Ow.
So Superman stops a terrorist attack.
We skipped over the rooftop scene with the cops. During when the Joker is on the talk show.
Yeah.
That scene was very clearly inspiration for so many things. Yeah. I actually think that the inspiration for the warehouse scene came from this.
I was thinking a little bit of like in The Dark Knight when
he strings all those cops together, like when they're like when the SWAT team shows up. Yeah, also huge inspiration from this. Yeah, for sure. And another one would be when him and Catwoman have their scene in Rises. That like kind of extended fight scene where they're on the rooftop or whatever. Yeah. And he actually does, I think, use the smoke in that scene too. I think
he does. And then that one guy takes a bump for no reason.
Yeah.
But I've always said, if I were a goon, I'd do the same thing. Like, oh, you got me.
No, we established this in our review. It was the wind from Batman's cape.
Gotcha.
You know?
Wow.
Yeah. It is a powerful draft from the cape, you know.
Yeah. You know, in the games, like there's that like wind radius that comes off the cape. Yeah,
that's what it was. Wow. Of course.
Yeah, got him.
I don't know how I didn't see that.
Yeah,
you know, silly me.
He dodged so hard.
If you're the Russians and you're trying to do like, I'm sorry, Russians. If you're anyone and you're trying to perform a terrorist attack.
We're about to get some angry letters.
Wait, I won't be able to read them. They'll be in Russian.
Okay, comments.
Are you trying to claim that Russia would, commit atrocities against the independent sovereign nation?
No.
Okay.
I never said nothing like that.
Well, in that case, we can skip past that and go straight to renowned Spore Druid Superman and his necromantic powers.
So we were talking about that too. And I was like, I don't remember Superman ever having the ability to take the...
Oh, yeah.
So did he absorb the sunlight from the plant?
Yeah, it's like he reverse photosynthesized them to...
That was my thing too. I was like, you can't... That's the Goku reading Krillin's mind on Namek.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
you can't fucking do that.
Or it's look at me, Caleb. It's the xenomorph spitting acid in Alien.
No, I
Alien
explained that.
They cannot do that.
I explained that why they can do that in Alien Resurrection. There's a perfectly good explanation for that. It's not. It's excellent writing.
Fuck off.
That's a direct scene from the movie. Like
Yeah,
they just
literally.
took that shit right off the page.
Yeah, Superman gets fucked by that nuke.
Yeah.
Yeah, that shit fucks him right up.
They definitely got the idea for the Flashpoint Superman from this shit.
Yeah, how he looks so
Zombified.
right. It just so nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a skeleton with skin, literally.
Yeah, when I first saw him do that shit to the grass or whatever, I was like,
my
this
gosh.
motherfucking necromancer.
Yeah. I'm no longer hungry. We're good.
Right. Yeah, and
So
so it even says that here in the book when Superman he's like, God damn, I got fucked up. He says the same power, the sun's power, fuels us both. Speaking to the planets, you hold it here, you store it. I beg you for a suffering world, release it. And so he's
That's some Goku bullshit. He's
That
literally
is.
like, please lend me your energy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I don't think the plants consented to this shit.
well,
Nope. He was like, please help me. I must take this now. Yeah.
So it's more the spirit sword. He just doesn't ask for it. He just takes it.
Yeah.
yeah, pretty much.
Jesus.
So, they have been building up this pretty big political intrigue going on in the background here, which results basically in Russia launching a giant ass nuke at the sovereign nation. Superman is able to thwart it, but in doing so, he is pretty badly wounded. And this takes place a week prior to what is essentially the conclusion of the book. We also see that there are pretty bad implications, right? So like that nuke knocks out pretty much the entire grid. They say at first I thought it was just maybe like in Gotham or like in the northern region, but it actually takes place throughout like the entire country from what we know.
Yeah.
And
Well, it makes sense. Like, there would be a huge amount of fallouts where it would just rain ash constantly. You know? Yeah, it tracks.
Yeah.
You know?
And I'm not a nuclear physicist, but I want to. No.
Damn. Well, you got to go. I thought that was your credentials.
I thought so too.
He lied on his resume.
Fuck.
I'm more of a hobbyist nuclear physicist.
Oh, yeah. I split atoms in my free time.
Yeah, on the side, you know.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure that in the 80s, like Cold War era, we still had the like where the dirty bombs, basically like the same ones from essentially like the Oppenheimer era. So yeah, there would have been a fucking ridiculous amount of radiation.
Yeah.
I also think about it, like, I think No, Watchmen came out in 87, I want to say. But still, roughly the same time frame. So it's just interesting to looking at books from, the mid-80s. And there's so much Cold War fear going on during that time frame,
Yeah.
I mean, there's definitely a lot in the Watchmen about that, too. But, yeah, so the power grid across the nation, the United States, that is pretty spotty at best. And some time has passed, and some places are having power restored, but it's still not 100%. In the meanwhile, because of everything going on in Gotham, because of all the people following Batman, because of his resolution, him and Jim Gordon getting people together to help put out the fires, to help restore order to Gotham. If you are a Gothamite who is being saved in that moment, this is a great thing. Your community is coming together. They are putting out fires. They're rebuilding your home. This is all great. But it's not great if you are the president of the United States and you see that.
Yeah.
Particularly if you are Ronald Reagan. Or, hey, they never say Ronald Reagan.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where's he at? Where is he at in this book?
It's straight up.
It's going to come up in another page, dude. There's his face right there.
I mean, that could be anybody.
Wow. Yeah, swap the initials around. It's Ronald Reagan in the book, not Ronald Reagan,
I don't want to skip over it, but like there's that moment where Carrie's like talking about her watch stopped working or whatever, and Batman's like, yeah, the Soviets nuked us, Clark didn't stop it, and Alfred's just like, you don't know that, and like there's just that moment where Bruce is like,
yeah,
dog.
Yeah. And Alfred's like, oh dear.
Yeah. It's like, motherfucker, how often is he wrong?
right,
Especially about some shit Clark done fucked up.
right. Oh, but not President Reagan has sent the order to Superman. Hey,
Donald Dragon.
Donald Dragon.
Yeah.
President Donald Dragon has sent news to Superman that, hey, this Bat Menace needs to stop, and it's the casuality and in his dialogue and in his speech that really gets me here. Yeah. You know, like the way he talks about it to Superman, about how, hey man, yeah, so because Superman says I might not be able to bring him in alive, and he's like, yeah, do whatever you got to do. Mm-hmm. You know, he's just very casual about it, and it just speaks a lot about what Frank Miller thinks about political figureheads.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, I mean, look at the mayor. You know.
Yeah.
I don't think he had a lot of use for them.
No, not at all. So we get the setup for the fight, and Batman's getting ready as best he can, and so we see the shot of Bruce working on what is going to be the suit. Mm-hmm. And
what's the name of this particular suit? He's had so many suits in his lore.
You know, he has. I don't know.
It's not the Hell suit. That was a much more recent suit.
Yeah. The Hellbat was more recent. The Justice Buster was more recent.
See, if he had the Bat Talax here, he probably, you know.
God damn it. We're not going back to that.
Wow. I can only imagine. Yeah.
Oh, that's a new thing.
I'll show you.
Yeah.
I'll show
you. A new thing?
Yeah.
Well, wait, actually, tell me how to spell it.
That's Absolute Batman, right?
Yeah. The name of the book is called Absolute Batman.
And he has the Bat Talax, and I like it a lot. I haven't read the book. I just like the axe.
Wait, Battle Axe?
Yeah, just look up Absolute Batman.
Yeah, I'll just do it.
Yeah. It's in that same series with Absolute Michelle.
God damn it.
It's literally an axe.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. What?
So the emblem on his suit is actually the head of an axe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a Bat Talax. See, because he's Batman.
Oh, okay, we get it, Caleb. All right.
Okay.
He can never flex. Forgive him. He can't do any flies.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. He's like, no wonder that part's the most bulletproof, motherfucker. Here it is. It's an axe. Jesus Christ. So stupid.
Goddamn.
And here he is, unironically holding it.
Oh, yeah. I am going to read that when it comes out. I am very
Does it
curious.
do anything?
The axe?
It cuts motherfuckers up.
Yeah, but I said he cut a bitch's hand off. That's for damn sure.
But he doesn't kill him. He just maims them.
We don't know that. I mean, this version of Batman, I have no idea.
He might hit people with the flat side of it.
This version of Batman is, I think he's bigger than Frank Miller's Batman.
He is.
Look at him. He's Hulk.
Yeah.
He's a Goliath.
He's Hulk with a small head.
Yeah. If that comes after you.
Oh, yeah.
You're dead.
Yeah.
He's not rich.
What?
Who
is this Batman?
It's Bruce Wayne. Yeah.
But this motherfucker don't need a suit to fight Superman. Like.
The way you're saying it, I thought it was like a weird play on words type of suit thing or something. But no, it's literally a battle axe.
No. See, he's Batman. Oh, he dresses up like a bat. See, Bat-Talax. See, you get it?
So, as I was saying,
do you have the sound for like the sad trombone? Wow, 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 wow.
I have something better than that. I have.
You suck.
It's not the first time that's been used on me this week.
That is a great drop.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh, can I hear it again?
For you.
For me.
Oh, that's the Kevin Spacey
wait,
wrong.
What's that
button.
one? All right, before we sign off, I got to hear the rest of these. But please, let's continue. I don't want to slow down the content, but okay. That's fucking cool.
Yeah, I fought for that button for years.
He did. And the homie committee finally put it through.
Good. I want the button. I want to make a sound for the button.
Before you leave here, we'll bake you a sound button. Goddamn right.
Go to bed.
I'm just going to get a recording of you saying, I've been saying that for a while. I'm going to get a recording of you saying go to bed.
We need that, actually. Yeah, for real. Yeah.
You heard it here, boys,
Goddamn.
and girls, and ladies and gentlemen.
Because Oz be stealing your catchphrase when you're not here. So.
Oh, I noticed. I noticed. God damn it. That's okay. I love him. He's a good brother, too, so. Yeah.
The thing about... The thing about Bruce here with this mech suit, we see him working on it. We don't see him making it. He's had this in the tuck.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He's Batman.
He's been thinking about this shit,
Right.
too. Yeah.
Like I got a feeling that he's like, I shouldn't make this, but then he's like, that's the one time on the Watchtower when fucking Clark ate all the chicken.
He's like,
Motherfucker knew I bought it.
like 10 years ago, he's like, man, I'm going to retire. Guess I never needed that Superman killer suit. Cuts the lights off,
Right.
you know?
Yeah.
Now he's like, oh. You know, when they were having that initial conversation in the field or whatever, and Clark's like, yeah, somebody's going to send me to shut you down. He's like, they can try, bitch.
Yeah. May the best man win.
He knew he had that suit already.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're right. And the other thing about it is, I was joking with Kevin about this. Superman says, where? And Batman looks up and says, Crime Alley. I'm like, no, Batman gets a buff.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, there it is right there.
Yeah, he gets a trauma buff.
Right.
You know he's got prep time. You don't give him
Right.
prep time.
Oh, yeah. No.
Yeah, that's the first mistake. It's just not attacking him right there.
Right.
You know, you tried to do this like the super honorable way.
Yep.
You fucked up there, Clark.
If Clark had just rolled up on him randomly, it would have been over in seconds.
Yeah. Agreed. Yeah.
For sure.
Even post nuclear blast Clark. Yeah.
And that is something to keep in mind, right? So this is still a weakened Superman because of the blast he took from the nuke and the fact that there hasn't been a whole lot of sunlight because of the weather patterns and the nuclear fallout. Yeah. So he's not at 100%.
It made him old man Superman without the aesthetic of it.
Right.
Yeah.
Basically. Yeah. And so now we get the showdown. And I thought that this fight and everything about it was absolutely incredible. Like, Batman fought such a strategic plan, you know, from having the missile shoot at Clark to having the Batmobile go after him, which didn't have Bruce in it, you know.
Yeah.
Just a distraction.
And the comments I made while we were watching this, and it's so funny. Donald Dragon sicked his dog on Batman.
Right.
He commented earlier in the story, oh, we have God on our side, or the next best thing, wanked at the camera, right?
Right.
He still sent soldiers in.
Yeah.
He was not confident enough in that dog to take out this guy.
Yeah.
Old Batman.
It's probably that, and it's probably a little bit of how much does Ronald Reagan think Superman...
No, Donald Dragon.
I'm sorry. Yeah, what did I say? My goodness.
Yeah.
My goodness.
You're about to slander our American president.
Whoa, I would never. Donald Dragon.
They don't pay us enough.
Ronald Reagan is the devil.
Ronald McDonald here. He probably also feared that what if Batman is able to lure Superman into believing whatever kind of false narrative he spins.
Yeah. He's like, these two are old pals or whatever.
Right. Yeah.
You know, what if he doesn't go through with it?
Yeah.
Because I guarantee you, there's been at least one time where Superman has been like, nah, what are you gonna do?
Yeah. And that is a good question, right? Like, what would you do?
Yeah.
Not shit.
Yeah, not a goddamn thing.
You would call Batman. Oh wait.
Yeah. You'd call Wonder Woman. Oh wait,
Yeah.
they don't take calls in Themyscira. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I just love the dialogue between these two during this fight.
Oh, so good.
It is, and Batman, he's just spitting a lot of knowledge here, like a lot of cold hard facts here, And I love the question he asked, like, who do they send after you?
Yeah.
Right.
Like, because Superman says they just send somebody else. Bitch, who?
Yeah. Who the fuck they gonna send? There ain't nobody. Well, I guess we find out in the sequel that fucking Hal Jordan is God mode or whatever. Because isn't he like insane in the second? Not like insane as in like he's crazy, but isn't his like power level like
it strikes again?
Yeah,
I think so.
Yeah, I think Hal Jordan's like fucking God mode Green Lantern or whatever.
He's back to base level by the time we get to Master Race.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're gonna send Super Hal.
He's like, bitch, I don't work for you. I work for a fucking tiny blue man.
Yeah.
All right. Work for the Guardians of Oa. All right, y'all don't pay my paychecks.
And Bruce is like, and I ain't scared, so
you are. Yeah. But this fight is incredible, and
like yellow spray paint.
And I love seeing Oliver Queen come in and play his part.
Yeah.
Shooting the kryptonite arrow, and just like the dialogue here that Bruce says throughout all of this is great.
Mm-hmm.
It's so good.
Yeah. You're beginning to get the idea, Clark. This is the end for both of us. This is like in Bruce's inner dialogue there, and I love that. But there's a lot that he says here. But obviously the capstone of it all is, I want you to remember, Clark, in all the years to come, in your most private moments, I want you to remember my hand at your throat. I want you to remember the one man who beat you.
Yep.
Whew.
Such an iconic line.
So good.
Yes. I mean, it's great. Mm-hmm. And, and at that point, Batman, he collapses. We also have to point out that Alfred has also died at this point as well.
Yep.
Detonated the mansion.
Yep, detonated the mansion, and Alfred, he collapses and dies. And so does Bruce. Yeah. Or does he? And so at this point, obviously the secret is out. The world now knows that Bruce Wayne was Batman.
Yeah.
And they hold a funeral for him. And, people come to say their farewells or whatever. And as they are departing, Superman is standing there last with Carrie. And as he walks away, he hears... I'm sorry. During this part of the movie, when Kevin and I were watching it, Superman's walking away all sad, doing like the most solemn part of the movie right here, and
I forgot this.
And there's about to be the heartbeat. The heart, like as soon as the heartbeat happens and Clark looks up, Kevin farts
loudly.
How dare you?
And it's like that's what triggers Superman to be like, oh, he's still alive.
We're just like, I've been holding that in for 2 days.
I forgot about that. Thank you. That's good.
God damn.
Oh man.
Oh, but then of course we see that that Clark is very much aware that Bruce is still alive, and but he smiles at that because it's kind of like a knowing thing between those two. And then we see that far underground here that Bruce with Carrie and with all of the former mutant leader people, now like the Bat people, they're all working together now to build something underground. They're working at finding a more effective way to stop crime. So this is more of the ideology of Batman versus the man. And that is where the story ends. Yeah. The Dark Knight Returns.
And this is where Kevin starts reading The Dark Knight Strikes Again.
Oh, man.
5 minutes later.
Yeah.
7 minutes later. Okay, I'm going to bed.
Gonna hard pass on.
Your Hal Jordan there, yeah. And the Flash.
Yeah, gonna hard pass on all
Why
of
does
this.
the Flash look like he tried to double as a Kingdom Hearts character? Jesus Christ. Motherfucker's got clown shoes for days. Yeah.
Oh.
It's bad. What I have read of it, I can't remember if I actually finished it or not, but it's it just gets more and more deranged as it goes on.
It's something that like I've been trying to will myself to read again because it's been a long time since I've read it too. But no, it's just bad though.
It very much has All-Star Batman and Robin vibes. Like,
yeah,
you could see.
Oh yeah,
it's like they're two peas in a pod.
They are. At least All-Star Batman and Robin, it has like the same value that Madam Web does. You know,
it's like you can just hate on it. You know.
Yeah, like you can read that book and just laugh at the absurdity of it all. Like Batman is genuinely a psychopath who needs to be stopped in All-Star Batman and Robin. Someone needs to rescue that poor child. Get Dick Grayson away from this maniac. Yeah. Like it's
Well, I think I will say that it's clear that like Frank Miller was trying to sort of get in on the like, how fucked up do you got to be to use a child soldier, you know? But the execution is just not there.
It's just terrible. Yeah, yeah.
I also don't think we really want to look at it that way.
Yeah,
you know.
There's also that, you know.
Yeah.
Like, because where does that lead? Oh wait, fucking, it leads here to The Dark Knight Strikes Again. Also, the thing about it is, Dark Knight Returns does not need a sequel.
It doesn't.
Oh no!
Like the way it ends is it's
right.
It's the great ending, I think, for a lot of these characters.
Well, look at the time jump between. I mean, like in terms of like when it was written between Returns and Strikes Again, 86 to like 01.
Yeah,
that's a long fucking time.
That's some like, hey, Frank Miller, we need you to go back to the fucking well.
Yeah, exactly. And come to find out, they did not, in fact, need him to go back to the well. You know,
when did he write Master Race?
That was like about 8 to 10 years ago, something like that.
Like
wow.
2017, 2018, somewhere in there.
Muy recent. Okay.
Yeah, it's very recent. And then, when did year one come out?
Like a year or two after Returns.
Oh, okay. So he still had the original recipe sauce.
Yeah,
Good. Yeah.
Which is kind of evident in like, because that's a really good story.
Oh yeah.
Year one's tremendous, and even when you watch the animated movie, it very much feels a lot like this one.
It does. Yeah. So just one more thing before we wrap up here. I just want to talk about inspiration and what inspires somebody to write, because that always fascinates me. Caleb, last week when we talked about redemption arcs, I mentioned Silver Surfer, and that led me down the path of talking about Donny Cates and him writing Silver Surfer Black, a tremendous story. And his inspiration for that was he was in the airport and he had already written like the first issue of Silver Surfer Black, and Donny Cates has a very specific style of writing, and is very cool and very edgy and very visceral in its own nature. But he had gotten the news in that very moment that Stan Lee had passed away. And, after taking some moment to reflect on that, he opened up his laptop and he deleted everything he had written. And he started over again, and what we got is Silver Surfer Black, an absolutely beautiful story. That was his inspiration. Frank Miller's inspiration for The Dark Knight Returns was he got robbed in New York one day, and that shit really pissed him off.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's fucking excellent, Like I'm not mad at that at all. Inspiration can come from anywhere, So I just think that's the most Frank Miller thing about all of this, is that had that mugger not robbed him, we may have never gotten the story.
Right. That's fascinating.
Yeah.
Every punch drawn is what Frank would have done to that guy.
That's what I think.
Yeah.
That's what I really think.
Wow.
Fellas, what are your final thoughts and feelings about The Dark Knight Returns?
I mean, if you want to look at the influence on modern cinema, modern entertainment, I'm not sure that there is a single book that's more influential, because clearly, like, the concept for Batfleck was this Batman, right? I mean, they didn't get it spot on, but they went with an older, grizzled, kind of angry, kind of retired. I guess he was retired. I don't think they ever fully go into it, but like, he had hung it up right when Superman, when Man of Steel happened.
Had he though?
Maybe.
I thought for the same reason. I thought Jason died, and then he hung it up, and then the Metropolis shit happened, and then that caused him to come back.
Maybe
was my understanding of it.
Yeah, that might have been what happened.
Yeah.
But he's got the bloody Jason suit hanging up in the Batcave.
Yeah.
Hell, even down to the point where J.K. Simmons fucking wears the exact shit that Gordon has on in this story.
He does.
Yeah.
That's true.
And then we talked about Rises, how this story and Nightfall were the major inspirations for that. And I mean, really, all of Nolan's Batman is Frank Miller-esque, the Dark Knight trilogy. Yeah. Clearly draws a lot of Frank Miller inspirations. One thing we didn't talk about, that big-ass fight at the end of Rises that may or may not make that much sense, very reminiscent of the mutant gang fighting the populace in this story. It was just done way fucking better here. But it's that same setup, where the actual citizens have to rise up and fight, the threat. And then you have that kind of iconic moment where Batman comes through the crowd, and that happens here as well.
Yeah.
So, I would argue that there's not a more influential book on, popular media, Batman. And that may be just because it's such an incredible story. And it highlights so many different facets of what makes Batman who he is. Mm-hmm. And it does so through the lens of 4 antagonists. And each one of them is kind of showing us a different side of Batman, with that being Two-Face, with the mutant leader, with the Joker, and with Superman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love it.
Nice. There's not a lot that I could add to that hasn't already been said about this book by more prolific voices than my own. However, I find myself constantly asking why Frank Miller wrote the story like this. He could have had the story been like many other comic book characters or comic book stories at this time, whereas they were like the book or the episode begins, there's one villain, maybe a team up, and by the end of the episode, they're defeated, story's resolved, case closed, let's make money. But in this particular case, the story is so well written and so differently written in that it is necessary for us to see Harvey Dent, Joker, the mutants, every encounter, every trial that Batman goes through. And I ask myself, why did Frank write the story in this way? Why is it such a standout story, but why did it have to be with all these trials? Couldn't it have been like one amazing book with just a focus on the Joker story and him leaving the catatonic state, and then more details on that, and then like more, between the panel moments, drawn in panels, but focused only on that. And I keep coming back to the same answer for myself, really, and that is because each of these together is everything you need to know about Batman. Every one of these in their own way helps spell and give you a perspective of our vigilante hero that just expound more on him, that gives off more information, backstory, development, hopes, desires, attributes of him. And really, it drives me to this overall point I'm trying to make, which is if there is only one Batman book that you ever attempt to read or decide, I'll give it a try, even if you don't read any other Batman book, this is more than enough, because this is more than enough to give you a perspective on, that is the character. That is why he's so important nearly 100 years later, That is why we're still talking about him and how amazing this book is, even though it was written well before any of us were born.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think in 2086 it'll be still relevant.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Man, I think you two just nailed it on the head, man, with everything that makes this book so special, well put.
Hire us, DC.
Yeah.
James Gunn. James Gunn, if you're listening,
I'll open up my schedule.
we'll do it for cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
sure.
well, kind of cheap.
Right? Yeah,
a cool meal each.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
per project.
I'd be happy with that.
Of course.
Yeah. Obviously, yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
And
And super homie name rights.
Yeah, and we won't work Dragon Con weekend. We refuse.
No. We gotta
can't-
participate in that.
We need that off. Come on.
Yeah.
Let's be reasonable.
Yeah.
You know.
Now, if you are going to bring the movie there, we can help with the setup and all that.
Right. Same goes
Because we're already
for
going to be there. You know?
Yeah.
Same goes for San Diego, of course.
Oh yeah. Well.
Yeah, well, I mean, we're going to need you to cover the travel, and we're going to need those VIP badges.
Exactly, of course.
Yeah.
And cover it, not comp us for it.
And,
Yeah,
and,
no,
and,
no.
and listen, if
Yeah,
you want
big
me to,
diff.
if you want me to be your Green Lantern, John Stewart, I will. All right, fine, I'll do it. All right, but just know that it's gonna have to work around the podcast schedule.
What character would you be?
That James Gunn is going to write? I don't know. James Gunn doesn't have the Final Fantasy VII rights, Ace. I don't know if you know that or not, but God, what DC character, what James Gunn DCU character do I want to be?
Same question for me, but I have no idea. I'm trying to think.
I want to be Commissioner Gordon.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah, I want to be Gordon.
Respect.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. I'm not old enough to pull off Alfred yet.
That's true. Yeah, you can't put on that yet. You seem like you'd be like a Commissioner Gordon who's just like fed up with like incompetency.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, we let another one get away, sir.
God.
Listen. I would tell your busted ass to go up to the roof and turn on the bat signal.
Yeah.
But you probably fucked that up, so I'm gonna go up there.
Behind closed doors, you pull out the bottle. Oh, goddamn.
I would fire that guy if we didn't need the people right now.
I just like he's fucking Santa Claus. I just leave fucking Batman a glass of scotch up on the roof.
Yeah.
Turn the signal on, leave the glass. Peace. I'm going home. Go home to fuck my wife. I'm out.
There you go.
I got shit to do. Gotham PD let another fucking villain escape Arkham Asylum.
Yeah.
Fucking shit.
I think I'd want to take a whip at being Jason Todd.
Pre or post?
Post.
Yeah.
Yeah. Post. Yeah. I already shaved my head. Let me put the helmet on.
Yeah, post crowbar. Yeah.
Post crowbar. Yeah.
I also, we talked about this the other day, but I think Hugo Strange would be fun role to play.
Oh, that's a good one too. Yeah.
That would be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were fan casting Dave Bautista for that.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Right?
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't know. You may not have seen recent pictures of him, but he's trimmed down a lot.
Lost like fucking 60 pounds.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Is he doing okay?
Yeah, that's what I was wondering, but apparently.
He said he's fine. He did this on purpose.
Oh.
He wanted to slim down for more roles.
Okay. Cool.
He started being typecast. The crazy thing is, he's still 240. He says. Yeah, because he is like 6'5", so I guess it tracks. But
God damn.
And also, the outfit he's wearing doesn't do him any favors in terms of like his physique, but that.
Jesus Christ!
Yeah.
That's what it looks
Homeboy like slimmed down and hit a tanning boost. Like wow.
For those of you not on the video, I just showed him the photo of
Yeah.
looking like he just got hit by the nuke in Dark Knight Returns.
Right.
It'll find you some daffodils, motherfucker.
Oh shit! So in Final Fantasy, Sid Highwind.
Oh yeah, for sure. Who Kevin? Who are you gonna play in Final Fantasy movie?
Yuffie.
That's gonna get weird, but I totally want to see you in the Moogle hoodie now.
There you go. Yeah. Honestly, I think I'd take a stab at being Cloud.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I want to see you in the spiky wig. And,
Same, actually. Yeah.
And you got to be able to go.
Yeah, you got to be able to do that.
That's great.
Who would you play, Ace? Who are you thinking?
I don't know, man. Yeah. Who could I possibly play?
In Final Fantasy mythology.
Wait, do me a favor. Hold your arm up.
You're right, Kevin. I'd make a great Vincent.
You would, exactly. That's what I was looking for. Yeah.
I was thinking like a squall. You know?
Oh, okay.
Oh,
okay.
yeah, there you go. Gunblade.
Yeah. So.
It's like you can say like Titus or something, you know.
Well, see,
I forget about Titus,
you'd have to do the laugh.
Ha 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 ha. And I think that is officially a sign that we've gone on too long.
Yeah, we're at 3 hours.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ.
Once I start doing the tightest laugh in Final Fantasy X, we've gone too long. Homies,
Oh, man. Thanks for sticking around.
happy Batman Day.
Hell yeah, happy Batman Day.
Yeah.
I didn't burn my Bear With Me here, so I get 2 next time.
That is not how that they do not roll over.
I'm switching to AT&T, damn it.
Homies, they're right. It has been 3 hours. It's been a blast, though. We're going to go ahead and wrap this one up. Thank you guys for being here again, though. And hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode half as much as we did. We had a blast here. I'm so grateful for both the co-hosts being here.
Hell yeah.
As much grief as they give me, they still the best. But that's going to be all for now. So, until next time, my name is Superhero Homie Q.
I'm Superhero Homie Caleb.
And I'm Superhero Homie Kevin.
Same bat time, same bat channel.